Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Okay, so my little is homesick today, so I apologize for not being here earlier as I usually do after I get her off school. But she has a little stomach buggy, and so unfortunately she is home today, and so I had mom duties, obviously. Mom duties before anything, my friends. Hey girl, listen, I am so patiently waiting for that chair and I will be so happy to get it. I am so excited. You are amazing. And obviously anything that we get, we'll unbox stuff, you know, because I feel like we've never done an unboxing really here. So if we get something during the day that comes, we shall unbox it, man. And between you getting me the chair and Amy getting me the bed, I'm like so overwhelmed. I only have one thing left that I really need for the house, and that's the couch. My living room is so empty. It's got the one chair and the one bookshelf. And I took a picture of it to show Amy, and I'm like, yeah, this is kind of a sad living room right now. But because I'm on the third floor, nothing fits but the cloud coach. So that one is, I think, what was it? $399. It's like an L-shaped. It's supposed to be like it comes in two separate boxes, and then you open it, and then it expands within 72 hours. So that's the only big thing I need for the house left. The only thing I need left. Thank God. There's little things like I gotta get stupid curtain rods, obviously. So I gotta figure out this lighting here. This is driving me a little bit bananas, and it's because it's too much light. It's too much natural light. I like the natural light, but I need it to be just like a smidgen less, just like a smidgen. It's like a smidgies less than what it is. And I need, you guys can hear the chair roll. I need like one of those little, circle rugs that people put underneath your chair. I feel like that would probably solve that like rolling around problem. I used to have rugs, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not loving hardwood floors. I feel like rugs are so much easier to maintain because I have to sweep these floors like multiple times a day. I hate hardwood floors for that one reason. You have to sweep it. Like you should be able to sweep it and not have to do it again until like you go to bed. You know what I mean? But you shouldn't have to sweep it 5 times a day, man. Like hate it for that reason. I hate it. I'll get over it though. I promise. But I am actually glad to only have the one big thing remaining that I need, which is the couch. It'll be nice to like finally have a couch in the house and have a place for the kids to like lounge out and hang out, Yeah, I liked having carpet at the old place because like you can't hear the chair rolling and it doesn't there's echo in this room just because like there's not enough things in this room. This is just an office, so there shouldn't be a ton of things anyway. But it's a little echoey, But we'll fix that. So we were honestly we did it. I was in the space, okay? So Aiden, we're gonna talk about it, okay? Oh, you paused Richens for me. I love you. I love you guys. Freaking love you. Thank you, Sassy. I actually made the intro and outro myself. That was my first and second try at ever trying to edit a video together by myself, taught by myself. Took hours to just kind of like play around with it and figure out like what it did and how to like do things. And then I figured out how to like add audio because you have to add the audio to it. It's not like there. And then I figured out how to mix audio. So I did the intro and the outro myself, which I am extremely proud of because for someone doing their first and second ever editing job of anything putting together like that, I think I did a pretty good job. It was only my first try. The outro was my second try ever at doing that. So, oh, and Nina, hi Nina. Nina so kindly got me the over the toilet shelf thing, and I can't wait for that to come and unbox that. It should be here. I think it's at Tuesday. I sent Amy the screenshot. I think it's Tuesday. It said it was coming. And so thank you, Nina, so much for that. I appreciate you, my friend. I am, I'm working off these things that I need in my damn house. So I appreciate all y'all. I do. And I'm happy to just be down to the one big thing, which I assumed would what my plan was to save over the next couple of months for that $400 couch, you know, put a little bit away each month, like $100 a month, and then, you know, buy it in 3 or 4 months if I can manage that, you know, with all the rest of the bills. And that way, in a couple months, by summertime-ish, we'll at least have a couch to sit on. Because right now it's just the one chair. And my really awesome side table that is a cupcake. I know some of you have seen a picture of the cupcake table. It's a cupcake and then circled glass on the top. And I love that table. It's just a little side table, but I absolutely love that table. And of course, it's like pink. Hello. Duh. You guys know me and pink. And also, I decided to wear my Underestimate Me, That'll Be Fun shirt and go with a green. You guys probably can't see because the light sucks in here right now, but I went with like a green and a gold today, a little bit of smoky, smoked it out a little on the side there. And I just went with like a darker green. I feel like I haven't done a dark green in a while, and some gold, just make it pop, you know? So that's what we went with today for the eye look. You know, we just kept it simple. Kept it simple. We kept it simple. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate you. Oh, a bi-level. I get it. Oh, see, my mom had a townhouse for the longest time, upstairs, downstairs. And so it's the same thing. She had no carpet, none at all. Oh, thank you, my friend. Yeah, we added a new member tier, a cheaper one, a $2.99 member tier. So it's a little bit, I mean, it's not hugely cheaper. It's $1 cheaper than the second tier. But we did add it. Thank you, Amy, for becoming a member, my friend. I appreciate you. I didn't have coffee today because I'm not digging the instant coffee. And with the Keurig being broken, I have a friend who's going to come over and look at it and see if it's a gasket, if it's like inside and then I can't fix it and I just have to toss it, which I'm praying is not the case. Because who could live without coffee? Not this gal. So I'm hoping it's just like one of those O-ring things inside or even on the outside that's like cracked or leaking, and we can just replace that thing and it'll be fine because it's like just leaking water. You press the button or you turn it on, it just leaks water. All the water inside the machine just comes out the bottom. It does not come out where it's supposed to at the top. And it wasn't like that before we moved. So I have the curse of like moving things, apparently. You know, the chair broke, the Keurig broke, and they were fine when I put them in the truck. Okay, so it's a new curse. Curses of moving. That's what we're gonna call it from now on. But we did move the membership tier down. I know. I'm like, it has to be a curse, right? Like, you can't, I mean, the stuff worked perfectly fine when I put it in the truck. I mean, I used the Keurig while I was like putting things in the truck. I made myself a cup of coffee. So I know damn well it worked fine. And the chair was fine too, except right before we moved, it was doing this weird thing where like I was sitting in it and it was going down. Like it shouldn't do that. It should be locked in where you set it. So I feel like that probably was coming. Like that gasket was probably blowing on that anyway. So I feel like that's definitely a possibility for sure. So, well, see, I went to go re-listen to our spaces, right? And unfortunately, Sparkly didn't record it. So we don't get to hear it. But I will tell you what happened. And Nina's here and Sparkly's here. So we can tell you what happened. So Sparkly was running a spaces. And after I was here, I went over there because I was cooking dinner. It was in the oven. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to see who's doing spaces. So I saw Sparkly was doing spaces, pop in to just listen for a minute. And one thing led to another, and I'm speaking, which is totally awesome and amazing. And I'm like, cool, we're just going to have a good old talk. I mean, I didn't actually even read the title about his, because right now he's, of course, making it about the title of the spaces, which was like, talking about whether he's actually doing bus stop lives or if he's just like pretending that he's bringing his kids to the bus. That's not here nor there. That's not why I jumped into the space. I jumped into the space because there's people that I know were in the space. MLF was up there, and I just wanted to like say hi and hang out, right? With people that I know, and people that I like. And so I hopped in and we were talking, and probably not even just 2 minutes or so after I hopped in, Sparkly was like, Aiden's trying to get in. Should we let him in? And I'm like, fuck it, let him in. Let's rock. Let's do this shit. I got a couple things I need to say to this piece of human garbage. Let's do this shit. Let's go, right? Because he's never dared to come into a space where I was. But I also think that he didn't realize that I was there until he was already in at that point, right? So he gets up there, and what is the immediate thing that he does, guys? You can probably guess. He just immediately starts talking down to people as if he's the smartest person in the room. Yeah, see, the problem with that is he's not even close. And at one point, he tried to sit there and call Nina stupid. Like he was like talking down to Nina and was like, yeah, you're the smartest person, Nina, right? Trying to be a smart ass to Nina. And at that point, like I couldn't help myself. Of course, I unmuted it. I was like, Aiden, you should probably not be talking to people about intelligence when you just went into a court and put onto the court record you arguing against your own argument in court with your other charges. Let's not talk about intelligence here, sir. Okay? Let's not, because you're not very smart. All right? No one on planet Earth I know is stupid enough to want to have a restraining order or an HBO extended on a woman so badly that they would argue against their own argument in their felony cases. I mean, how fucking stupid can you be? So, of course, that came out of my mouth because I cannot be responsible for the things that fly out of my mouth when he runs his cum catcher. So I said that. And, of course, he had nothing to say because what's he going to say at that point, right? And then Sparkly asked him, about not being allowed around his daughter. And he did this. He was like, oh, Mike, do you have service? He's talking to probably his girlfriend, who knows, starts pretending he can't hear anyone. So of course I chime in with my smart ass and I'm like, yeah, guys, he's having service problems. He's losing service, right? Because that's the, thing he did. Well, acting like he can't hear anyone. He just don't answer the question, obviously. He needed a minute to take a second to think about what he was going to say. He is not one of those people that if you put him on the spot like that can make up a good lie, right? He needs a minute to think about it. When he makes up a lie on the spot, well, it doesn't always go over well because then he can't remember later on the full lie and all the details. So he ends up contradicting himself and then people catch him in the lie. So he always needs a minute. And usually what he does when he needs a minute to think about what he's going to say, right, is he'll sit there and he'll gaslight a little or re-ask you a question, try to throw an insult in, spin a little bit. Oh, thank you for acknowledging what I wanted you to acknowledge, playing games. And then he'll answer the question with the lie after he's had a second to sort of think about what he's going to say, right? So he did the whole service not working. Can't hear you in the tunnel, right? And so of course my wise ass, like I said, get us up there. And I'm like, yeah, guys, he's in a tunnel. He can't hear you. And Sparkly points out rightly so, isn't it convenient? You just magically can't hear that question, right? Magically can't answer it. So, he goes on, and Sparkly's asking him about the bus, and he's explaining the bus, and Nina's asking him questions, and of course he can't ever be. At one point, I unmute and I go, "Can you be serious for 10 seconds of your fucking entire life?" He goes, I'll try to be. Bro, at one point, he doesn't like the fact that I keep calling him out on his lies, right? I keep unmuting myself because when he lies, I know all of the things that he does behind closed doors, and I know all of the things that he does in public, and I know how they correlate. So when he lies, I have no choice but to unmute myself and say something. Now, the problem with that is he has no answers to what I have to say, right? And he started getting a little flustered. So at that point, he starts making demands, like this is a hostage situation, right? Well, I'm not going to talk, and I'm going to leave. I'm not talking to you. I'm only going to talk to Sparkly and Nina, right? Because he can't deal with me, right? Because he can't spin with me. He can't gaslight with me. At one point, I literally unmuted myself and was like, Aiden, please stop fucking gaslighting. For the love of God, no one believes you because you're a liar. The gaslighting has already started, right? So at this point, he's talking about, I think Sparkly asked him about the phone extraction, right? And he goes on and on. It's like, well, Meredith released my phone extraction of crusty panties, right? And I'm like, now, mind you, right before this, right before he talks about that, right? Right before he starts blaming Meredith, per usual, okay? Right before that, We go, Aiden, you recorded Karen Reed illegally, right? You illegally wiretapped Karen Reed, right? And he goes, where's the evidence to that? Where's the evidence? Where is the evidence it was illegally? Where is the evidence that it was illegally, guys? Where was the evidence that it was illegally? Are we being serious right now? I go, Aiden, is this real life? Like, are you really actually trying to argue that right now? First of all, Aiden, didn't you just hear her court case? They put it on record that it was illegally recorded there, sir. So that Karen herself made the statement already in JFK's chat that it was illegally recorded, which means she didn't agree to it, which means it was an illegal recording because Massachusetts is a two-party consent state. So then he plays the game of like, how do you know I wasn't in Rhode Island? Like Meredith said she was in Rhode Island, and I'm like, Aiden, really? Like, stop with the gaslighting. It's old. Nobody believes you. You sound fucking ridiculous, right? Like, you sound ridiculous right now. Do you think anybody believes you? No, right? So he's, where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? I'm like, Aiden. He's like, Meredith shared my phone extraction. I go, no, Aiden, you shared your phone extraction with people. He's again, where's the evidence to that? Where is the evidence? Where is the evidence? Where is it? Where is it? I go, Aiden, it's online for everyone to see. You sent her your extraction yourself. He goes, no, she sent me my extraction. I go, and how would she have had that to begin with, Aiden, unless you gave it to her, you fucking absolute buffoon, right? Of course, he has no answer for that, right? There's no answer for that, of course, right? So then shortly thereafter, he says, well, Meredith shared my full extraction with Krusty Panties. And I stopped him and I unmuted myself. And I go, well, where's the evidence, Aiden? Where's the evidence to that? We would like to see the evidence, Aiden. Aiden, where's the evidence? Aiden, where is the evidence to that? I mean, if he wants to play that game, we can totally play that game with him as well. I mean, we're going to go by his rules, right? If we're going to go by his rules, then we're going to throw it back at him. Except the problem is when he says, where's the evidence? The receipts have been posted 72 times. So he knows it's there. He just hopes that the minions that are listening, right, that he can see listening to the spaces, will just repeat what he says. Where's the evidence? I had to point out several times, Aiden, the evidence has been posted a million times. And he knows that, right? He, of course, knows that. That's just his way to gaslight. Right? It's his way to gaslight people, is to be like, well, where's the evidence, and pretend like it doesn't exist, even though everyone on planet Earth has seen it 72 times, right? So that his minions will just keep going with that, right? So I'm like, well, where's the evidence, Aiden? Where's the evidence? You're saying Meredith released your extraction, but I don't see any evidence to that. Where's the fucking evidence, sir? You sent your extraction to multiple people. You did. Then he talks about, why are people obsessed with my children? And then he blames Meredith for releasing the recording of his kid having a meltdown, right? Now, let me throw out there's the recording of his kid having a meltdown about cheer, about his mother being a cheer. That one's been out for years. That one was released long before him and Meredith were even like knew who each other were, okay? And that is because ultimately Aiden himself recorded it and then sent it around to people. So I'm like, whoa, Aiden. You want to talk about when people talk about kids and do this shit? Like, cool. Why did you record your own child and send it to grown adults? Who the fuck does that? Who the actual fuck does that? I'm asking for a friend. I'm wondering here, who fucking does that? If you want to try to call people out with no evidence, I might add, right, of shit that you don't like, let's go back to the bread and butter, right? Let's go back to the bread and butter, Aiden, of the nonsense of you and the shit that you created yourself. You recorded your children and sent it to multiple people. That is how it ended up leaked on the internet. The only person responsible for that is you, sir. You, yourself, and you. That is who takes responsibility for that. Because nobody I know takes videos of their children and sends them out to random people on the internet and in group chats, and to this one, and to that one, and then cries when it gets leaked. That's your own fucking fault, because you can't help yourself. As a narcissist, you don't know how to, right? Oh, I would do a factory reset. Come on, wouldn't you? At this point, I would, I feel like he must not have been hugged enough or something, or dropped on his head as a child. I don't know, because The amount of gaslighting that that man does, and Nina can tell you, is amazing. Okay? I just wasn't letting him do it. I know, I forgot to text you. I'm sorry. My kid got me all distracted. I'm sorry. I apologize. I literally said it, and then she needed me, and then by the time I got back, I was already late. And I was like, my brain today. But so he did the gaslighting, of course, right? So then when he didn't like that he couldn't spin with me, when he didn't like that he couldn't gaslight with me, when he didn't like that I could call back, every behavior he's whining about someone else doing is his fault, ultimately. It all rolls back to him. So here he is whining about his phone extraction being leaked, right? And I stop him there and I go, Aiden, wasn't it you that made sure that you sent Lindsay Gattani's entire full phone extraction to someone else to release all over the internet just to shame her? And here you are bitching about your phone extraction. Isn't that fucking amazing, folks? I mean, you just can't gaslight with me. It's really that simple, right? Like, I know every move he's going to make before he's going to move it. I've watched him do it to countless people at this point. I have enough insight, knowing 1, 2, 3 of his ex-girlfriends. That doesn't count Meredith, because I don't know her, but I know 3 of them. And so I know enough to know exactly what he's going to try to do and how he's going to try to do it. His famous thing is to always try to make someone look stupid by gaslighting them, trying to throw a little insult in. So the only insult that he could come up with for me, guys, you guys are going to love this one, was to call me Marlboro Red, as if that's supposed to mean something. First of all, jokes on him. I smoked Newports when I smoked. Number 1. Number 2, I haven't smoked cigarettes in 2 years. And number 3, I didn't start smoking until I was in my 20s. I'm only in my 30s. So that's his only way to distract, is by using dumb nicknames to make his minions laugh. I don't know. I mean, it just sounds, a grown-ass 45-year-old man can't answer a question, can't be serious, can't take accountability, but he's sure definitely destroying people by calling them Marlboro Red. It's a fucking knee slapper, let me tell you. He's doing so much over there. He really thought that one was like a funny haha. I'm like, is that supposed to mean something to me, sir? Yeah, that was all he had. That was all he had. Is that supposed to be like a haha because I have a raspier voice? Like, sorry, I was born that way long before I smoked there, bud. Like, well, if he is the smoking police, I'd like to know what he calls Will. I mean, or Jimmy. I'm just asking. I mean, isn't Will your buddy, Aiden? So, I mean, what is he, the Marlboro Cowboy? Like, what? Come on, bud. Like, that's all he had. That's all he had for me. That's it. That's what he had, to just repeat that phrase as if that's supposed to, like, I don't know, hurt my feeties or or mean something to me. It means nothing to me. Not a single thing. Again, jokes on him. I smoked Newports when I smoked. Never smoked a Marlboro a day in my life, but nonetheless, I haven't smoked in 2 years. So again, jokes on him. But it's like, is that supposed to mean something, right? Like, is that supposed to bother me or mean something? Like, that's the deflection, is to call somebody a ridiculous nickname that has nothing to do with really anything and hope that that's what your people grab onto. And it just shows you the level of intelligence of the people left supporting him, because that's all they can grab onto right now is that phrase. Within 2 minutes of him saying that phrase, do you want to know what two people decided they were going to write that in the chat? Bet you can't guess. I bet you guys can't guess the 2 biggest simps that Aiden has right now. Valerie and Flip. Within literal 2 minutes of him saying that, these 2 are parroting it back. Oh my God, that's like, is it supposed to mean something to me? Like, is that actually supposed to mean something? Because it doesn't. It fucking doesn't. As a matter of fact, it makes you look like the absolute fucking buffoon that you are, sir. You have nothing else but that. I mean, that's sad. That's pathetic. Hold on one second. I mean, it's just pathetic at this point. At this point, it's beyond, that's all you can come up with. And so he got all flustered and angry because he couldn't gaslight me. He can't play games with me. I'm not going to allow him to spin, right? And narcissists hate not having control. They hate it. So in this moment, Aiden decides he's going to try to take control of a space that we allowed him in. So yeah, see, the problem with that is he has no control. And I was going to let him know that. So here he starts demanding things like this is a hostage situation, right? And he's like, yeah, what you're going to do is you're going to kick her out, meaning me. And you're gonna mute, because I only want to talk to Nina and Sparkly. That's it. I'm only gonna talk to Nina or Sparkly, or I'm gonna leave. And I was like, Aiden, you're acting, and I unmute myself. Of course, when you're acting like anybody gave a fuck if you were here to begin with, we don't. This was just like entertainment. Like nobody cares if you're fucking here, bro. I'm not leaving. Nobody's kicking me out. And then I said that one thing that narcissists really don't like to hear. I said, Aiden, you don't have control here. Sorry, not sorry. You have zero control here. You have none. And I repeated it multiple times, but just pissed him off further, which I knew would, because narcissists cannot handle not having control. And he, as he always does, attempted to try to pull and take control. He can't. He can't have it. I wasn't going to let him have it. And so I was like, yeah, no, sorry, you have no control here. This isn't your space, and I'm not going anywhere. So I don't care who you want to talk to or who you don't want to talk to. I'm here, whether you like it or not. Sorry, not sorry. And so he was none too happy about that. Right? Like, come on, dude. Your client pressed the record button. It's not rocket science. It's really not, you know? It is scary if you think about it, right? But I'm glad that he was removed from teaching. Sparkly was doing space. Sparkly Rabbit was doing space. I told you, it was like 2 minutes. You must have just popped in. It was like 2 minutes after I popped onto her space as a speaker. So I don't even think he realized that I was a speaker yet. And that's why he asked to get up there, because he didn't realize I was there, right? And then, well, I was. So he was not happy about that. Like, well, sorry, not sorry, bro. I'm not going to let him sit there and play the games that he normally plays with people. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to fucking happen. He's a disgusting human being. All he does is harm people. It's gross. Hey, standing. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, see, that's the thing. He didn't, I don't know who, recorded it, because Sparkly didn't record it, but they clearly did not record the whole thing. And notice, he didn't play the whole thing. Why not? Why didn't he play from the time he got on? If somebody had it recorded, why didn't he play from the time that he got on that space until the time he left? I would like to know. Oh, could it possibly be because, I made him look dumb? Oh, yeah, and that's, and he can't, I mean, we were seeing that part of it, he's only got to pick out the parts where he says something that he thinks is, cute or funny or whatever, Of course he's live now. Hey, Natalie. Oh, it was amazing. I wish I honestly had more time to talk. I was so mad, Sparkly. I went back to try to listen to see because a little bit of talking over each other were happening, because we're all trying to get a word in edgewise, but I had a lot I wanted to give him, a lot. I wasn't not allowing him to sit there and try to gaslight or call Nina stupid. When he tried to call Nina stupid, I literally was like, sir, you should probably not be talking to people about intelligence when you just went into a court and argued against your own argument for your felony cases just to get an order extended on Kate. You, sir, are a fucking idiot. Which I told him. So I don't know which one of you guys, if any of you guys caught it, or if any of you guys heard it. If you did, let me know, because you'll know everything that happened, besides obviously Sparkly and Nina, because I was there with them. But there's a lot of his former students say that he was harder on the girls than he was the boys. He was creepy. He was weird. That's a lot of his former students have spoken up before. Cooties. God damn it. Not cooties. I got my cootie shot, He does need to go to jail. And that's exactly right. Sassy's right. He's been thinking this way his whole life. His whole entire life. Yeah, see, I always slide record on first, because if I don't, obviously then it doesn't get recorded, and then like the good stuff doesn't, then you lose the good stuff. Because now whatever part he had or someone recorded, they're only gonna like clip it to the parts where he makes himself where he thinks he makes himself look good, and then cut out all the parts where he looks like a fucking idiot because he can't answer a single thing I'm saying to him, or he has no comeback for me pointing out that all of the problems he's bitching and whining about he has done to other people. It's called karma, bitch. It's called karma. You're bitching about an extraction. You had no problem releasing Lindsay's entire extraction to shame her, and now you're bitching about yours. Shut the actual fuck up. Shut the actual fuck up, Aiden. I can't with him. But it did feel amazing. I wish I had had more time, because I had a lot for him. I was ready to give, and I don't think he realized I was there until he was already up there. And I don't know how, because Sparkly literally asked me, she's like, do you think we should let him up? And I was like, yeah, if he's asking, he would never do that on a different space that's on. Not ever. He would never have the fucking balls. Never have the balls. And then his simp, after he leaves, comes running in, Pick Me Valerie under Astro's name with a fake account to like ask the same 72 times, why do you think Aiden should be in jail? I mean, I've only answered her 75 times, and then she just like pretends like no one's ever answered her on that question. We've answered it 72 times, pick me, bitch, because he commits crimes. So when you commit crimes, you go to jail. It's, it's kind of how it works. Like we've answered that like a multitude of times. Putting your fingers in your ears and pretending that we didn't is kind of fucking weird. I mean, but you are a weirdo. You are a weirdo, so that doesn't shock me. But she had to try to come in with a fake account, and I was like, dude, you're a clown. Get the fuck out of here. You're an actual clown. Nobody cares what you have to say, Val. Go do your own spaces, raise your hand and go, pick me, guys, pick me. I'm the co-leader's favorite. Like, nobody cares what you have to fucking say. The fact you had to try to sneak in on a fake account again just goes to show. Like, say shit with your chest, Val, with your whole chest, okay? Don't say it behind 17 fake accounts. I tried to ask her, how many fake accounts you got now, Val? How many? Just as much as your leader? How many? Bitch, how many? That's sad. It's pathetic. You take all that time out of your day to make endless fake accounts? I mean, wow, that's wow. Ouch. That is pick me behavior if I ever saw it. That's for damn sure. Like, get an actual life. I can't believe you actually spend the time to make fake emails and fake accounts and enter all the information. Like, what? Who the fuck does that? And I'm talking, she's got to have a dozen or more at this point, She just has to. Yeah, his extraction, I mean, there's a lot of shit that I know that's in there that has not even been released. So I can't wait for the cult members to see the messages where he's going back and forth, talking to who he thinks are his friends in his group chats, literally making fun of the people who support and donate to his channel, saying they're stupid, they'll believe anything he says, it doesn't matter if he lies to them, they'll repeat it anyway, and they'll just go after who he wants anyway, and if they don't, he'll just use his fake accounts, but they're all stupid, they're ugly, they're fat, they have no job, they have no life, and they're dumb enough to just keep giving him money. So these are all the things that he says about the people who support him, which is fucking utterly disgusting. I can't imagine thinking about the people who support me in that way. I can't imagine thinking about the people that support me in any other way than gratefulness, right? Like, because without your audience, where are you? Without the people that support you, where are you, right? Like, where are you? He just doesn't care. He automatically assumes that people owe it to him. Everyone should just give him money because they owe it to him. He thinks it's owed to him. Not that he has to earn it, not that he deserves it because he's trying to help people or he did something to deserve it or hard enough work to put into a show. It's that he thinks he deserves it and everyone should just give it to him. That's the way a narcissist works to begin with, Well, that's exactly what he does. He has to rewrite the narrative. He pauses and tells them what he wants them to believe happened or what he wants them to believe he did. So most of the time, and I haven't watched him, I don't watch him unless it's a clip someone sends me, what he'll normally do, and tell me if I'm right here, is he'll pause and give people the narrative that he destroyed everyone. Everyone looked stupid and he destroyed everyone, when the reality is much different. Anybody who listened last night and who wasn't a fucking brainwashed cultist know that I made him look absolutely fucking buffoonish. And that's why he kept refusing to talk to me or YBE for that matter. I'm only talking to Sparkly and Nita, because every time I had something to say, he had no answer for it. None. 0. And he can't be looking stupid. I mean, he can't be looking stupid on his faces, you know? The spinning is amazing. And Lisa hit it on the head. Lisa popped in after he left, and she was right. That's all he knows how to do is spin and change the narrative to fit what he wants it to be. He can't tell the truth. Dude's got diabetes. That, you know, not treatable, guys. You know? Oh, but he's done that, Justice for Wayfarer Studios. He's made fake accounts and tried to pass them off as Meredith. He's done the same thing to Leah. He's did the same thing to Lindsay. Like, he's done the same thing to Kate. He's done the same thing to Julie Ginto. He's done the same. So, like, there's a multitude of people where he'll make a fake account and talk like them and then use his own account and be like, we discovered this was so-and-so, just to get people to harass them. When in reality, the fake account was him the entire time, and he's using it to set other people up. That is something he's been doing going back at least 5 years. So it's like, when you know the things that he does, it's not hard to figure out when it's him at that point. You know, when an account is solely dedicated to running their mouths about the people Aiden doesn't like or the people that are telling the truth about Aiden, you know that he had something to do with it. That's not rocket science, you know? Yeah, he did not want, he did not want the smoke. His occupation was not firefighter, guys, okay? He did not want the smoke with me. Occupation, not fucking firefighter, all right? Yeah, I don't think you can. I think you either have to record it in the beginning or that's it. I mean, I think you have to. I mean, again, I always hit record first, so I don't know, but I don't think you can, like, recover it afterwards. I think it has to be recorded at the time, but if there's a way, I'll look and see, you know, we can find it. Because he doesn't have wits. He has spinning things. He has changing narrative. And when you don't allow him to spin, when you don't allow him to change the narrative, when he goes to blame someone else, bring that accountability back to the person it belongs to, him. When he's talking about, this person released this of mine, well, where did they get it from, Aiden? Oh, you. So whose fault is it? Is it their fault or is it your fault? Also, why are we and then he always demands evidence, right? Where's the evidence that I did X, Y, and Z? Even when there is a multitude of evidence and he knows it, he still pretends like that evidence doesn't exist to gaslight his audience into believing it doesn't exist. So if he just keeps saying, where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? Even though it's right there in front of him and everyone else, then at least some of his minions will be like, yep, see, he said, where's the evidence? So there is none. There is none. Doesn't exist, right? Like, that's a form of gaslighting and spinning. We've all seen the evidence. He sent the extraction to Meredith, and he sent it to other people. It's posted all over X, bro. You can't miss it, all right? I don't think there is a side to the story. I mean, Kate has the extraction, or Kate is the one releasing parts of the extraction, not Meredith. So, you know, I mean, if he wants to blame Meredith for everything on planet Earth, he can. But if he's going to sit there and scream, evidence, where's the evidence? Then I'm going to answer the same question back. Aiden, you're saying Meredith released your extraction. Well, where's the evidence, sir? Where's the evidence? He did not like that, by the way. He doesn't want to play by his own rules, guys. He does not like that. If you use his own ridiculous rules against him, he's not too happy with that. That makes him very upset. Where's the evidence, Aiden? You're saying where's the evidence with yours, and your evidence is all over the internet. The receipts are everywhere. But where's the evidence that Meredith released anything? Where's that evidence? Where is it? You know? I did hear you ask him that. I didn't hear an answer, though, of course. You know? I didn't hear him answer that. He didn't answer that question. Like, why did you post that picture of other people's children? You want to talk about children. You want to talk about your children. You want to talk about why people do X, Y, and Z. But it all boils down to, it all ends up back at Aiden's feet. He shared those videos of his own kids. He shared his phone extraction. He shared the illegal wiretapping of Karen and bragged about it. So who does it belong to? The accountability, does it belong to everyone else? No, it doesn't. Without him bragging and being the egomaniac that he is, none of that happens. He recorded it. He shared it. It's his burden to bear and nobody else's. He can spin as much as humanly possible. We all know where that accountability lies. You know? I know, right? He only wants to talk to you and Nina, so I guess I'll have to pop in after he's already up. You know? Thank you, Standing. I mean, I do know that you used to, at least. I mean, again, I don't watch him anymore. Unless it's something someone directs me to, or clips people send me, or me trying to get more context on something, I do not watch his shows. I don't watch them when they're live. I'll watch only what people direct me to, right? So thank God for other people, though, because if it wasn't for them, I kind of would have to, just for like research purposes, and I don't want to, because no, thank you. But he is just one of those people that are hard to listen to when you know that almost every other word is a lie. It makes you want to smash things even if you're not a violent person. So I can't do it. But nonetheless, I know that what he used to do when he first moved out of his wife's house, because that's where he used to live. It's his wife's house. So what he did was drive the couple miles from his house to the ex-wife's house, park in the driveway, and then walk the kids from the wife's house to just across the street, the street where the bus stop is on the other side of the street. Then he would get back in his car, finish his dumb bus stop live, and leave. Now, when he lived there, he would sit outside on his stairs or go back in the house in the living room. Little did we know he was living on that couch. But he would finish the bus stop live inside the house. Now he doesn't live there, so he does it in the car. But I mean, that's what he used to. I have no idea what he chooses to do now or what he doesn't choose to do. What I can tell you is thank you. There's no fucking way in hell that he's making his kids lunch. So he's like, oh, I want to hear my schedule, as if anybody actually gave a fuck what his schedule was, but we let him rant about it anyway. He's like, well, I wake up at this time, and at 7:30 I go there and I sit with the kids for a half an hour, and then I make them lunch. Like, no, you don't. No, you fucking, if you really want me to believe, okay, that you make them lunch, not your ex-wife. Julie doesn't make them lunch, you make them lunch. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You do not make those kids lunch. Then he went even further to try to pretend that he was like an amazing parent, right? I drive my daughter to cheer multiple times a week. Sir, didn't you just say the other day that you have nothing to do with cheer and that you will not help pay for it? I believe that he said his ex-wife does all the stuff that has to do with cheer with his daughter. Oh, but yesterday he's Father of the Year, right? Like, he drives her to cheer and he like makes them lunch. Duh. Like, nobody on planet Earth believes that. Sorry to tell you, buddy. sorry to tell you, bud. You know? Well, so that's the thing, is he would give shitty grades to the girls. And if they did like about the same as the boys would get better grades than the girls. Makes, you know what I mean, harder on the women than he was the men. Gee, that's kind of how egomaniacs, narcissists, and misogynists work. They can't stand women, you know? Oh, you poor thing, how is it feeling? Oh, snowshoes, Jesus. Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't see, I wasn't a co-host or anything, but I don't read the chat usually when I'm like speaking. I just like forget it's there. I'm just bad at it, to be fair. I'm terrible when it comes to that chat. So I checked, I think, after he had left, but during when he was there and before I didn't look at anything. So it wasn't until after that I saw anything like that. But I was like, keep, letting yourselves out of the woodwork, because then all I have to do, now that I know some of you are just running your mouths and that you have, first of all, most of these people are people who don't know a single thing about me or anyone else. They just go based on what Aiden says and his bold-faced lies. So all that allows me to do is they sit there, they say something that's supposed to be an insult but isn't, because when you're repeating something that's a lie, you're not insulting someone. Like, it's a lie, so no one fucking cares, right? So it just allows me to block them. Block. Never have to think about them again. It's amazing. Thank you for allowing me to know that you exist and that you sit there and talk shit and run your mouth so that I can just block you. Block. So a couple of the turtle writers afterwards I saw, and I was just like, blockity block. See you later, I mean, I can't remember what it was that he called her, but it was so disgusting. And at the time, it didn't click in my head, like, what he was saying, because he was yelling, like, and I couldn't exactly make out like what the nickname was. I knew he was trying to, like, play some insulting nickname like he did with Marlboro Red, because that's the best that he could come up with, right? So the best he could come up with is something about a cigarette. I smoked in 2 years. I didn't even start smoking until I was in my 20s, and I smoked Newports. I always have had a raspy voice. Sorry to tell you, it has nothing to do with smokes. But nonetheless, that's not an insult to me. I could give a fuck less what you want to call me. I don't care. Look at me and look at him. That's all I have to say. Look at me and look at him. Really, realistically. Look at me and look at him. Come on, stop it. Really. He insults people's intelligence by acting like he's smart or cute or funny, and it's just not. It falls flat. You know? Wrapped around the tree base, Jesus. But I didn't quite make out exactly what he was saying until like the very last time he said it. And I'm like, is this dude fucking serious? I didn't quite pick up the racist overtones in it either, because I'm not, to be fair, I had to like look up what that meant. I did not know it was like a Star Wars Star Trek thing. I never watched that stuff back then. So I had to like look up the name, and then I realized, and I was like, what a fucking piece of shit he is. Who, like the racist, not even overtones, just the racism itself of all of that. Like, you feel comfortable calling a black woman, what was it he called her? I can't remember. So I'm not familiar with the characters of that movie, show, whatever the fuck it is. But I'm like, is this real life? Like, he's totally comfortable with doing that. Totally, it's like him calling JFK hood boogers. Like, what the fuck? Like, and every one of his minions goes right over their head. It's either that or they just don't care and they happen to be racist themselves. I don't really fucking know. But he was so comfortable with the racial like comment, you know, like he didn't seem to give a fuck, you know? Ridiculous. He sure fucking will be, you know? I've actually never, yeah, I smoked Newports, which are worse for you, to be honest. But yeah, diabetes. He has diabetes. I said that last night to Lisa when she popped on. I said, Lisa, he has diabetes. Like, it's not, you know, you can't, you can't, there's no medication for that, you know? Diabetes is diabetes. He just can't help himself. It's non-curable. Diabetes is non-curable, you know? Well, that's what he does. He makes shit up when he talks about his text because he can't show people like what it says, because then he would out himself, right? So what he does is he'll take a piece of a text message and like cut it off, and then he might give like one of his responses, but he will not give you the full context of what was talked about. And then what he does is he'll take a piece from this conversation, a piece from this conversation, and a piece from this conversation, string them all together, make them look like one text message, or have someone do it for him, right? And give a narrative about what it is that's happening in that text message. When in reality, none of that is what is happening in that text message. And if you saw the entire thing, it's him who's in the wrong, not someone else. She's having like crackers. And she kissed me, like cracker remnants on my cheek. Cracker remnant. But that's what he does. That's what he does. He strings text messages together and then gives a completely different narrative about what he wants you to believe that it is. The problem is that people actually buy it because they don't know his history of doing it. So they just believe it, you know? Yeah, I saw that he kept saying Sparkly's first name. That was like an insult of like doxing. It was his way of being like, I know who you are, some sort of like veiled threat to use your first name. Like, who the fuck are you, Aiden? First of all, nobody cares if you know their first name. You're not scary, bro. Okay, this is what we think of you. I'm terrible. I'm scary. I want to go after your family. I'll smear you online. I will use my idiot minions. I'm a turtle boy. Be afraid. Like, bro, you are a fucking clown. And all you do is get out of the clown car and you bring 50 clowns that fit into that you stuff into that clown car. The problem with that is usually the 49 other clowns eventually figure out that you are the ratchet clown and they bounce, right? So then you have to look for more clowns to help. And it's just a cycle. over and over and over again. He finds 49 more fucking clowns, and those clowns come in. They believe everything he says, and he always has receipts. No, what he always has is lies. What he has is spin. What he has is narrative. What he has are things that he had people make for him. He will literally make somebody make a fake account in an email and send him an email and pretend it's a threat from so-and-so, or pretend it's a source from so-and-so. He's done this dozens and dozens and dozens of times. All of the receipts have been shown a billion times over. There would, like, you'd break the internet if you put all the receipts out all at once of everything that we have, you know? It's insane to me. But that's what he does. He preps the cult, right? He's prepping the cult to pounce, to harm someone. That's, you know. Hey, Miss GNX, nice to see you. Oh, I wish, girl, I wish. It was Sparkly Spaces and she forgot to record it. So if you didn't get to hear it with us, unfortunately, you can't hear it. I'm sorry. I know I went back to listen to it too because I missed like an hour before I popped on and I wanted to hear the stuff that I missed, but it wasn't recorded. So, well, that's the thing. He kind of released his own extraction. It's like, so he can't blame anyone but himself, you know? Believe me, you don't want to. You know, you really don't want to, Standing. You don't. You know? I mean, he probably did. That's what he does. To be fair, for all of you that don't know, during the first trial, when he couldn't get a seat, he didn't have his credentials to get in yet. He actually did threaten Karen through Jenna Rocco and Nick Rocco and tell them that he's going to go to Tully if somebody doesn't give up their seat. If Karen doesn't make, you know, someone give him a seat in the court. And she wasn't going to because she wasn't talking to him at that point. They were not friendly at that point. He was still pretending they were, but she wouldn't talk to him. And so he thought he deserved a court seat. He deserved it, and they were going to do what he told them to do, or he was going to go to Tully. That's what he said. That's what he did. He did that during the first trial. So does it shock me that he then recorded, or he's probably recorded it a multitude of times before if I had to bet on it. He likes veiled threats, but he also likes direct threats. Most of the time his direct threats come on the phone. But the fun part is that he calls over and over and over because that's what he does to get people to pick up the phone. He'll call you 50, 60, 70 times. Why don't we ask Nurse Kim about that? Why don't we ask Nurse Kim about the incessant phone calls, right? To get you to answer the phone. But if you don't answer the phone, eventually he will resort to putting it in writing, in a text message, or in a Facebook Messenger because he can't help himself. He's got to get that threat out. And this is how I know. It's because he's done it to a multitude of people. It's what he does, you know? And it's like, I would like to know what he thinks of the glare. He has such a problem with smoking, apparently. Or does that only apply to me when I used to smoke? I'm just wondering, it's like, you know, we'll chain smoke. So if I'm Marlboro Red, then isn't he like Marlboro Cowboy? I'm just asking for a friend here. I mean, the poor dog. Jesus. Oh, Amy's right. If he's talking, he's lying. If he's breathing, he's lying. I like to say he's a H2O oxygen stealer because he is actively stealing my oxygen. And I would like him to stop being an oxygen thief to the rest of us, decent human beings on planet Earth, because I would like to save the oxygen for us. So if you could please stop stealing my oxygen, sir, that would be great. You know, the rest of us would like to split that oxygen that you keep thieving from us, right? Because you're just a waste of it. We would like it back. Thank you. Well, he has to be, right? He has to pretend at least that he's the most important, most smart, you know, person in the room. The problem with that is he never is. He's the only one that thinks he is. Besides the people that he can brainwash, he is the only person who thinks he is the grandest of all. He is the most amazing, the smartest, the funniest. That's how highly he thinks of himself. And again, that comes with narcissism. He's an egomaniac. He has to be praised 24/7 or he starts to lose it. It does scream that type of dad. You won't help with cheer with the amount of money, and I'll throw it out there. He's made over $5 million since 2020. And again, these are numbers that like we got from like direct from the company that he's, you know, the platform he's using to make that money. So they got paid over $1 million of that. closer to 2, but over $1 million of that money. It's not like he does not have money. It's not like he couldn't pay for it. And as we know from Meredith, he decided to tell the court that he made a lot less than he actually does, so that he wouldn't have to pay for certain things. Now, I hope that his ex-wife takes his ass back to court because he lied. You know? His hate for women is just right out front. The racism, the hate for women, you know, all of it. It's just right out in front of you. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. You know, I honestly feel like he's hiding something. He's very strange with the sexual shit 24/7. I feel like he needs Sexaholics Anonymous, you know? But that's the thing, he can't be decent. He doesn't know how to be a decent human being, you know? Cannot be a decent human being. That's it. Yes, that's it. I had to look it up. What? I didn't see that one. I have a lot of those people already blocked, so I probably didn't see half of this stuff, but I didn't see any of those ones. See, I have a lot of those people blocked, so I'm glad I do, because Jesus, if I had seen that at the time, I would have lost my shit. You know? It's just gross to me. Oh yeah, she is. Melanie is still fully Team Turtle, like an idiot, right? Freak lover, poor dog. You know? Of course he did. And let's be real, when he harasses people, it's really out of jealousy. That's what it's about. It's because people are mentioning those people to him so often that he starts to get jealous, right? It's one of the things that used to drive him crazy about these people. Used to often tell him like, oh, I love her show, or I like her, I've met her, she's a decent person, blah, blah. And it would drive him nuts. I used to get screenshots from people after of his like rage sessions where he'd be like, I'm sick and tired of people saying that they like her. What the fuck? Like, why would they talk to me about her? They should be talking to me about me and my show. Like that's how egotistical he is. Like, that's fucking crazy. That's when someone comes to me and they're like, oh, I love the show so-and-so. Like, even if I don't like that show, like, I'm going to listen intently to what this person's telling me. I can be like, oh my God, they should be talking about me. Like, I'm not the only person on planet Earth. There are tons of other shows out there. And I actually have great conversations with people about other shows that I do enjoy. So it's like, he can't even have a conversation with anyone about any other creator, because in his mind, it's not about him. Everything has to be about him. I mean, that's just sad. You know what I mean? Sad. Of course. And that's all he knows how to do, is try to do like insulting names as if that's gonna like what, hurt our fifis. Like, nobody, Aiden, you are irrelevant, sir. You're gonna go to jail, right? And you can't help yourself but to keep committing crime. So it's just inevitable at this point, you know? Natalie said you're not blocked, so that's weird because she can see yours. So that's like a glitch that we've been having. I know yesterday Ski couldn't see their comments, but we could. So they thought we were deleting them. We weren't. It's you're not the only one, Nina, that's having that problem. I've 6 or 7 people I've seen, and not just in my chat, in other people's streams, I've had that same problem where either they can't see someone else's comments or they can't see their own comments. It's weird. Yesterday, I couldn't see Queen of the Fool's comments at all, and she had been in here the last stream I did, and I could see them just fine. So it's me too. I can't see certain comments still. So if there's someone's comment that I'm not pulling up, you can bet that it's because I can't see it. Because I usually pull every comment unless it's you guys talking to each other or saying like one singular word, saying hi to one another, or like repeating something. You can't see your own comments either? See, that's weird. That's what I mean. It's like, I don't know, it has to be a YouTube thing, because we looked into it yesterday to figure out like what the hell was going on, and it wasn't just my stream, it's other people's streams too. So I don't know it has to be a YouTube thing, you know? Well, that's exactly it, Danny, is because they're getting paid. You have to remember that the people that back Aiden, like Jess and Will and some of those attorneys, it's because they get paid more money by the supporters that Aiden has. Aiden's supporters all go over to their channels and send money. Like, you'll see super chat after super chat, or they'll read donation after donation. Like, if you come to a channel like mine, you don't see a ton of that, right? So it's few and far between. My donations are smaller and fewer, and because I refuse to lie to my audience. I'm not going to gaslight my audience or simp for someone simply because it brings in more dollars and cents. He's a horrible person, and I would never want to direct people directly into harm's way for more money. So what that tells me is people like Will and Jess and Melanie Little, they don't care who they hurt or who they're sending into the lion's fucking den to be hurt, destroy their families and lives, altered, as long as they get a couple extra $100 on it, right? It's fucking gross. Rando can't see it either. It's like a thing. I don't know what it is. It's like some sort of glitch. Try that. Try to go like bounce out and come back in and see if that works. But I don't think it will. I think we tried it the other day with someone else and it was. And I really honestly think it's a glitch. I agree with you, Danny. I like that more people are becoming aware of it and realizing who he is and what he's been doing for so long. You know? I mean, everyone has their own opinion on Jen. What I can say is, for me at least, Jen apologized to me a long time ago, a while ago. And what I appreciated enough was that one of the first things she said was, I have no excuses. And, you know, I can respect the fuck out of somebody taking full accountability and not making an excuse about why they did it or you know, whatever. And so I am not one of those people that will just hold a grudge forever. You know, if someone is woman enough or man enough to apologize for something, then I'm always willing to take that apology. I've unblocked, I don't know, probably over 100 people since a few months back. And I am happy to report I have never had to reblock a single one of those people since they asked or had someone else ask me to unblock. Sometimes I'll get an apology from someone and then I never speak to them again. You know, like they apologize, I accept the apology, and then everyone moves on with their lives. And other times someone apologizes and then we just become a little friendly and speak and talk, and then I end up talking to them. So it's like, it's different for every person and different for every scenario. And I can respect the hell out of somebody being willing to put your big girl or big boy pants on and apologize for something. Because there are far too many people that just disappear into thin air and never apologize, even when they know they're wrong or what they did was wrong. And so when the few people that do apologize, it takes balls, you know, it takes balls, because you're putting yourself in a predicament where, like, you're vulnerable. That person could tell you to go fuck yourself, you know. I could very well say to any one of those people, hell, you know what, go fuck yourself. I don't care what you have to say. You were very, like, a horrible person to me. But what's that going to solve? Ultimately, that's exactly what Aiden wants, is for people to just keep fighting with each other. And I refuse to give him what he wants. You know, I also refuse to just hate people for no reason. Okay, you might not believe the same thing that I do. If you're not ignorant and rude and fucking awful to me, then I'm not going to be ignorant and rude and awful to you. Right? Like, I will respect people in the same way that they respect me. I have no reason to be nasty or cruel for no reason, you know? Rando can see yours. See, that's so it's some people in some people's accounts and others it's not, you know? It's weird. It's weird, man. It's weird. See, that's why I like to always respond to people so they know I see them, and I feel like more creators should do it, because, like, I want you guys to know that you're seen and appreciated, and that I like to hear what you guys have to say. You guys have some great points. You guys bring up a lot of things you want to hear about, which is great. I love that. Or questions. I like to respond to those, you know? And I think you miss out as a creator when you don't take the time to make that connection with your audience and let them know that they're there, they're seen. You're not ignoring them. A lot of creators like Melanie will only read the ones with Super Chat. I won't do that, right? And not everybody uses Super Chat. Some people send Venmo or Cash App or PayPal, and I read those, right? Like, no matter what way someone donates to the channel, I read it, unless they want to remain anonymous. If they say Anon on it, A-N-O-N, or on Cash App, I have people use the tongue with the $sign if they just want to remain anonymous. And I never read anybody's real name. So when your real name pops up on Venmo or Cash App, I never read anybody's real name. Usually people will write a comment and then they'll write their screen name so that I can thank them with their screen name. But I never ever read anybody's real name, because we don't do that here. That's no, nobody needs to know your real name. And there's a reason why, I think it was like 2 years ago, I locked, so when someone sends a Venmo to me or someone sends a Cash App, those are locked. No one else can see my coming or going. So no one can go on there and be like, oh, why did so-and-so donate to so-and-so? Like, that's none of their fucking business. So I locked all of that down. Nobody can see it but me. So, well, I know that, girl, because you sent a donation, so that I know your name. But then again, some people do use their husband's accounts. I used my husband's account for a while when I first got started, or their wives' accounts, just because like they have one instead of having two, which makes sense. Nina, can you see her now? I love that. I blocked you. Eh? I'm confused. Blocked who? I haven't blocked anybody in a really long time. Just to throw that out there. I haven't blocked anyone in a really long time. My vet was delivered? God damn it, I'm not going to be able to carry it myself. I'm going to have to bring it into the hallway, and then the hubbies might have to carry it up. I'll attempt it, but I don't think I'm going to be able to carry it up 3 flights of stairs. That might be a tall order for me. I am too. I mean, it allows you as well to, like, when people do apologize, it allows you to maybe get to know them on a level that you wouldn't have otherwise. And I have been able to get to know other people that I probably wouldn't have otherwise through that. I do agree with you in where I wish some people would apologize publicly, because that's where they made the most ruckus, right? Was publicly. So it's like, at least try to rectify some of the damage. But I also understand why some don't. It's they don't want to be fucking harassed into oblivion by Aiden either. So like, I can see both sides of it, and I'm not hurt if someone doesn't publicly apologize, like they at least, the very least, apologize to me, and that's what matters, Right. I mean, you just have to be able to look at the whole situation. Hi, Veronica. You have to look at the entire situation. You have to look at the fact that a lot of the gaslighting from Aiden is coercive control, and it's used to brainwash people. You have to remember that when people are in that state, it's like a domestic violence situation. Like, I'm a survivor of that, and I know what it's like to be under the spell or doing exactly what that person wants you to do, or you're afraid they're going to lose it on you, right? And that's what some of these people are doing. They're afraid that Aiden's going to come with them and do exactly what they think that he wants. And so you have to kind of put yourself in that scenario. Are they grown adults? Yes. Do they know better? Yes and no. There's a reason why he does the brainwashing in the way that he does. It's so that they kind of lose that sort of awareness of it, right? It's only when people stop, take a step back from all of it, shut it down for a little bit, and come back is when they see it. And then once they see it, there's no unseeing it from there. There's just none, Absolutely a gift. Me and my husband will have been together 12 years this year in July, which is when we usually take our Sappho trip. 12 years in July. Yeah, believe me, girl, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I am working on it. I promise you guys, I am working on it. We've talked to the lawyers at Alphabet, which is the company that runs like Google, YouTube. Like, so believe me, I'm doing it. I'm working on it. It's going to take time, but because they've ignored so many reports and so many of his videos, I mean, he's got at least about a dozen violations per video on average. Some obviously more than others. One from last week was like 18 violations in that one video. So it's like, at what point, if I made 2 violations in one video of terms of service, my whole channel would be shut down and gone. But because his makes them more money, they overlook it. And that's not okay. That's profits over people. And it's destroying innocent people's lives. He's allowed to just spew evil nonsense to save his own ass, Motion granted for Karen to get her phones back. Well, I thought that they already did that. They said that she'd get her phones back, but that she couldn't delete anything and she had to produce whatever, as far as what I understood. Let me try to rescue the vet. I'm going to go down and see if I can carry it. Cross your fingers for me, because Physically, I don't know how heavy it is and if it's going to be possible, but I will attempt it. I'm going to go attempt it. Hold on. Actually, you know what? I'll put up the donation information. This is the perfect time to mention it since I never do it in the beginning because I'm not good at remembering it. But if you do want to support the channel, there's a bunch of different ways that you can do so. We have an Amazon wish list. That's in the description of the video. I'm actually going to put it in chat in a little while because I think the wrong one was put in. I mean, I have two. I have one that we put just 5 things on because a wise woman once said to me that what you need to do is put the 5 most important things on the list, right? And so I put the 5 most important things right now on the list. And when something is bought, then you put, you put something else on, right? And so the bed came off, and so now the most important thing on that list, there's 5 things: pots and pans, a rug, couch, laundry baskets, and toilet. The rug for the toilet that matches the shower curtain, and the other thing that goes like next to the toilet. So your feeties aren't cold because I've been finding my feeties nice and cold next to that on the floor at night. But share, damn it. But I have 2 lists. I have the old one and the new one. The new one has the 5 things on it, and the old one has a multitude of things on it. But there are a bunch of different ways that you can support the channel. The Amazon wish list, the old one or the new one, is a good way. But also the direct routes of support are always the best options for any creator that you really watch. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, and we have our Untwisted chats at the top. You can click on that and use any credit or debit card, of course. You can make yourself a member. You can gift memberships. We've made a lower tier of $2.99 per month. You can get yourself a membership. You can gift memberships. You can do all that fun stuff. So let me attempt to rescue this bed and see if I can carry it. I'll be right back. All right, that was fucking painful. All right, I'm not gonna lie, that was extremely painful. Oh, oh fuck's sake. Okay, I think I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna. Can't breathe. I can't breathe. Actually, I can bring my hand up. Please, thank you. Next to the bed. Oh my God, Amy. They taped the gift thing, the receipt that's usually in the box where it says a gift for you, enjoy your gift. This is your name. They taped it to the front. So this was painful, okay, up 3 flights of stairs by myself, little old me. But, thank you, I trained for this with moving. All right. I trained for this when we moved. I had to carry a lot of heavy things that like I literally couldn't carry physically because I don't have it in me. So what I did was it was on the porch, and so I got it in the first step in the front door. And the problem is like there's like 2 steps and then 10 steps up to the first like landing, and then there's like you get to the landing and then you got to go, I don't know, you got to walk maybe 15 steps or so to like where the window is, and then turn in 1 more step, and then it's 15 up. But the 15 up all the way to my house, guess what? It's a spiral staircase. So this is what I did. Okay, I got creative. All right, I decided what I was going to do is when I could get it up onto a step, then I could like lay it on its side and take my knee in my hand and push and sort of like try to glide it up steps. And so that worked up the first flight, but the second flight was tricky because it's a spiral. So once I got it up to a certain point, I kept getting stuck on the steps. So I like, what do you call it? Wobbled. I wobbled it. I literally like went like this and wobbled it up to the step, and then flipped it to the side, and then pushed up to get it into the hallway, to get it in the door. And then I wobbled it down the hallway to where we are now, just like this. A weeble wobble. You know, like the weeble wobble that didn't fall down. Yeah, that's what I did. Because this thing is heavy. It usually says the pounds on it. Oh my God, 64.7 pounds is what it says. £67.4. All right. 6, that's a lot of pounds. Yeah, 6, 7. It's a lot of pounds. And I can't believe I actually got this upstairs. To be honest with you, I'm shocked that I got this upstairs. I'm afraid. It's heavy object. Team lift required. It says that right on the box. Team lift. In the attic. 54 steps. Stop it. From like the street up to the attic. That's crazy. Yes. Now I can sleep well because you're amazing. That's why. And Amy knocked one big thing off the list, so now all we need is the couch, and I'm excited about that because once my house has a couch, I feel like won't feel like empty. Well, the living room won't feel empty, but like it'll actually feel like a home. You know, I got the chair, I got the little side table, we got the bookshelf, but then there's just like that big empty space where like the couch would go. It doesn't help that A, the spiral staircase, B, that we're on the 3rd floor, and C, it kind of like again it like goes like this. And then you go up the staircase, and then it goes like this again. And so that's the only thing I could find that would literally fit. I did use the cardboard to slide the boxes down the stairs at the old place. That's what we did. We slid because like the only problem we ran into is we had to have somebody like standing at the end because there's like a wall, and then you got to go down 2 steps. So we just had someone stand at the end, and then it out the door. But we did use the cardboard trick, and it did help. I wish it would work going up and not just down, I'll tell you that much, because the going up wasn't so much going down that was the problem. It was going up that was the problem. The going up was like the oomph, you know? But I'm actually shocked that I could actually carry this. Well, actually carry it. I weeble-wobbled it, but nonetheless, at 64.7 pounds, I'm proud of myself because that's a lot for me. That's a lot for me. I'm glad I remembered. Because at first I didn't remember, and then I was like, ooh, to show my husband. I was like, look at this trick. We gotta have to use this trick because it was just me and him. Again, it was because like the snow, nobody, everybody's preparing for that. So, I know, right? To start getting cowbells. I mean, I do have songs. I probably should have played one of the AI songs while it was gone. We do have AI songs. We have funny AI songs too, nonetheless. But, oh my God. To me, in my brain, I think it's 72 hours you're supposed to let this thing, because it's memory foam, so you gotta let it expand. So I believe it's the same as the couch. It might be 24 or 48. I have to check obviously the instructions, but I know you have to let it so I'm probably gonna have to open it up in the living room and then let it, rise. Let it rise for however long it's supposed to before I attempt to sleep on it. But I can wait a day or two. It's been long enough. I can wait a day or two until it's fully in its position so that we can actually sleep soundly on a new bed and my body might not, actually hurt a million times over, which I definitely can freaking appreciate. Oh, I didn't see this one earlier. I never get them right before I go live, so I didn't see this. Thank you. Thank you, Grave. Grave sends $100 and says, for help with the Saco trip or whatever for now. For now, it'll definitely go towards groceries, my friend, because those are always needed. And when you move, it's like, you clean out your fridge and then you're like, oh, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. And you end up with like nothing. And you're like, wow, what? And you don't realize how much crap is in your fridge until you go to clean it out, I guess. Yeah, washable. Oh, you got to get those things. And I actually have some, which I'm happy to have, those grippers that you put on the ground. So there's like grips that you can put on the back of the rug or the ground, and then the rug, depending on the grip that you get. I found 2 sets of those that I already have, right? So I already have the grips for the rugs that go on the back. I had extras, I think, from my littles in her bedroom. She has this little tiny stitch rug right in front of her bed because she loves stitch. And so she's got this little stitch rug at the end of her bed. That's what she wanted. And I got grips somebody got me grips for that. And so there was extra. So now I have extra. So when I do get a rug to get underneath this chair, maybe one for the living room, one for the bedroom, I can put the grips on them. A couple of them are Gorilla Glue grips, which I didn't even know was a thing, because you know how good Gorilla Glue is. And then I forget what the other brand was, but they were a decent enough brand that you put them on the bottoms of the rug so that when you're walking, you don't trip, you don't flip over. My cat, Miss Dora, is readily excited about my, rug that I have coming into the house at the front door. Weirdly, our front door opens in the living room. Don't ask me why. I didn't make the house. But it opens in the living room. So I have my black, it would be like a rug you come in with your shoes on, whatever. It's right inside of the door. And it has what looks like it's black, and it has white, what looks like a Ouija board, right? It's supposed to look like a mystical sort of Ouija board. And it has one part that it's rectangle, and there's one piece of the carpet that kind of jets out a tiny bit, like this much. The cat, for some godforsaken reason, loves to attack that piece. And so I keep catching her every night. She takes her paws and she moves it away from the door. She moves the rug itself away from the door so that she can play with the side of it. She's getting very smart, little trickster there. She's very tricky. Very tricky. Oh, I mean, I like them because, hardwood floors are beautiful, but I got to tell you, I'm not a fan of having to sweep them 72 times a day. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about hardwood floors. I did appreciate carpet because A, it's not cold on your feet, right? It's not cold on your feet at night, which I definitely am missing. And B, you can vacuum, take the vacuum out, you vacuum, the rugs once a day or twice, depending on, your kids, your household, pets, whatever. And you're done. Me, I feel like I'm just always sweeping the floor of this house. we have more bedrooms than we had last time, but last time we sort of converted a living room into a bedroom because we had two, like a living room and a, yeah, the rug's on my Amazon wish list. It is. There's one that I need like 3 of. So it's on there and just says quantity 3, you know, because I want to have the same, I don't want to have like 3 different colors and 3 different rooms. I just want it to be, you know, flatly the same. The only thing I would care about being different is I could stand to have a pink one in my room or a pink one here. Pink or black, doesn't matter to me. But those are the theme of colors. Pink, black, or white, but I don't do white rugs. Who does white rugs? Nobody should do white rugs. It's a horrible idea. Horrible idea. Well, I have a Swiffer. I use a Swiffer mop. I use a regular broom, and then I use the Swiffer mop. But even that, I mean, to be fair though, I'm glad to not have the white tile that I had in my old kitchen because I would Swiffer it, right? And anybody who has white tile projects, you would Swiffer the thing. And then like after you were done sweeping it, then you Swiffer it, there would still be like residue of like no matter how much you swept it and no matter how much you mopped it, there would be like this like little dots of like black from even if you used a brand new clean pad and you tried to sweep all of that up, you still had to get down on your hands and knees with a paper towel and like use it to like, and I'm like, I hate this white tile. This is this, and I never had that problem anywhere else. Yeah, I usually put her in my room when I'm doing the kitchen floors and the bathroom floors, and she's a cat. She sleeps a lot during the day anyway, so usually it's all dry before she ever wakes up. Let me see. I have. For those of you who are on Twitter, I don't really actually know like why other full-grown men think it's like a fun idea to just like basically parrot anything that Aiden says. It's weird behavior. Like I told you guys, within 2 minutes of Aiden making that stupid remark about Marlboro Red, here you have Joe Flipahead and Valerie both repeating it. It's like, are you guys fucking parrots? Are you parrots? You know? Oh no. Oh. Send her all of my love, dude. And losing a pet is like losing a family member. I send all my love to Deidre still. She lost her pup, and that's so difficult. They're like little family members. I don't know my cat is so used to sleeping at the end of my bed and just chilling out with me that like if she wasn't there, I don't know what I would do with myself. Like she's my little buddy, you know? My buddy, my buddy. Wherever I go, she goes. But that's the thing. It's like, you know, they're like family members. It's hard when you lose a pet. I know when my sister lost her dog, she got the dog cremated and got like a little urn, but they at the vet did the paw prints. They give you an option to do like the paw prints and you can get them like plastered or you can just get them on a piece of paper or whatever. But no, I can't. I wish I can't play it. It wasn't recorded. Sparkly didn't record it by accident, so I can't play it. Aiden must have had one of his minions take like a small, or he himself with his second phone recorded certain parts of it, or he recorded the whole thing. He's just not going to show everybody the whole thing because he looks like a buffoon, and that's why he can't possibly play the entire thing from the time he got on until the time he got off because it would make him look fucking stupid every time I talk. So, I mean, he's not going to. And so there is, as I haven't seen even clips anywhere other than him playing whatever parts that he sliced up that he recorded, you know? It is. And they are, especially with cats and dogs, you know? I mean, some animals live well past the time that we do. And then some have such short lives. Fish. Like, you just think about that, like the lifespans of some of the animals, some can be very long, some can be very, you know, short. Although I told you guys this weekend I was watching like an ancient Egypt marathon of things that I could find on like different streaming things. I had a bunch of free stuff on Prime or whatever, and I really love ancient Egypt and the mummies and like how they lived back then. And back then life expectancy was like between 20 and 40. Like if you lived past that, like that was rare. Like if you lived into your 50s or your 60s, like that was rare. And I mean, yes, that's thousands of years ago. But think about that for a second. In thousands more years, will people live until they're 150? If the average age is 70s or 80s or 80s or 90s now, will it double again? You know? I don't know. I use both. I mean, Spaces, I'll answer that in 1 second, Christina. Spaces is easier for when you need to like move around the house. YouTube, I'm stationary, right? I'm in this chair. I can't really do much else when I'm here, right? But with Spaces, I can pop a headphone in, bring my phone with me, mute myself, do the dishes, sweep the floor, cook dinner, which is what a lot of us do. So you're able to sort of talk to other people and do those things at the same time, you know? That's what their last wishes were back then, was to be mummified, you know? So yeah, they're still in order with the civil case, so they still do have to get like whatever they agreed upon, because we don't know exactly like what specific things they agreed upon in her phone. But the order is still in effect where nothing can be deleted from her phone from the civil case. So that judge's order still stands. And then whatever they agreed to produce, they have to give to Diller. So that all of that still stands, even if she gets her phones back, if that makes sense. So again, Doolin is giving her phones back in the criminal case. There's an order in the civil case. So they're two different things. Doolin can't overrule what a civil case said. You know what I'm saying? So like he can say, okay, cool, give your phones back. Well, you don't have to do anything with them. But the civil judge has already ruled you can't delete anything. So like there's already an order in the civil case. She can't just get the phone back and delete. If she does, well, I mean, I'm not going to say there's going to be tons of consequences, because it probably won't be. And they're not really, I mean, what are they going to do? Hold her in contempt? But the bottom line is if her attorneys agreed, it'll make her attorneys look shady as fuck. And I don't think the judge would like it, but criminal and civil are two different things. Judge Doolin can release those phones back to her. That's fine. He can say whatever he wants, but there is still an order in the civil trial. And people get those things mixed up. I mean, there's no reason to appeal for the criminal, though. That was going to get given back to her anyway. The case is over. They would have had to give it back unless they were going to indict on something else that required those devices and whatever. So that would be something the state would have to file. But the civil cases and the criminal cases are two totally different things. So an order in the civil case on those phones still stands, whether she gets her phones back from the criminal case or not. That's why the judge said, okay, well, when you get them back in the civil case, you're not to delete anything. And the parties have to agree on whatever they're going to, give over. That doesn't change just because Doolin gave her phones back. Those are two different judges and two different kinds of cases. The criminal case, if she wasn't going to be indicted on anything else and they didn't need those phones for any other reason, those were always going to go back to her. So that's standard procedure. They were always going to end up going back to her. And so that's why in the civil case, they put it in order to sort of like say like, okay, well, when she gets them back, we don't want it to go missing or things to be deleted or blah, blah, blah for discovery. So that is why the order was put in for the civil trial, because they knew in the criminal it would be released back to her. If that makes sense. I mean, Aiden is just like a walking indictment, I feel like it. I do, but this is only to hear you guys. My microphone is here, attached to the desk. This is just so that when I play things, I can hear it, right? So this isn't for me to like talk. My microphone stationary. It's here on the desk. It's like, I don't know how to, like it's not screwed in, but it is like it. So it's like this part moves, like the arm of it moves, right? But my microphone is stationary to the desk. My camera is on the computer. So I mean, I could walk off and not hear you guys, but what good does that do, right? I still need my camera and my microphone to run the stream. And I wouldn't be able to see anybody's comments, and I wouldn't be able to respond to the comments. So it's like when you're doing a Spaces, you have other people who are speakers. You can talk back and forth while doing other things, right? Like I can just pop a headphone in with Spaces on my phone. and just, I don't have to have it on the computer. I can put it on the phone. Using YouTube and streaming from the phone is a nightmare. It's not good audio. It's not good, video. And oftentimes, like, you'll get a lot of buffering. My phone's also a little bit older, so it's just not ideal to try to stream all the time from my phone. It's more ideal to be here doing it the way that I do it here. Spaces just sort of allows a little more, I guess, mobility. You know what I mean? You are not an incompetent old boob. Stop that. Stop it. You are not an incompetent old boob. Stop that. Hey, Leah. Farwell motion to dismiss denied. Well, I can't believe they even filed that. Like, there's no going to be, I mean, to be fair, it's standard that, the criminal defense attorneys always file a motion to dismiss with some ridiculous reason on why the whole case should be thrown out and shouldn't go forward, blah, 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 blah. But, I mean, that's pretty bold for Farwell. Like, the case is not going to magically be dismissed, but also, his shit's federal. So, it's a little bit different. And I hope he gets, to be fair, they could use the death penalty because it's a federal case on Farwell. So that'll be an interesting one. The problem with that is you'd have to see, in order for his case, like, they're not going to stream his case, right? We're not going to see it not going to be able to watch that trial. You'd have to go in person and watch every day of that trial if that's what you wanted, or rely on reporting of other people who were there. That's what sucks about it, because I really want to see justice for Sandra and her baby when it comes to Matthew Farwell. And obviously, I'm not going to be able to go there and sit at Moakley or near Moakley for the federal case for every single day. It's just going to be too much. I don't live, I used to live right about 10 minutes from Boston, and not anymore. Not anymore. Not anymore. Not anymore. Oops. Sorry. But I can see I was checking right over on Twitter just to see, what kind of shenanigans are happening over there right now. And what I see is a lot of Aiden's minions just repeating the shit that he spews daily. Like, if he says something new this morning, they're already repeating it 10 seconds after he said it to the people that he wanted them to direct it to. It's like, how do you not figure out at that point, right, that he's using you? How do you not figure out? Hey, Justice, nice to see you. But how do you not figure out you're being used by him at that point, Like, I don't understand it. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't. I don't fucking get it. I wish that all the text messages that Aiden has between him and other people and group chats, that those from his extraction would be released about what he really thinks about the people that support him. Like I said earlier, I can't imagine ever thinking that way about the people that are kind enough to support my channel. How could you have that much anger or vitriol towards people who are supporting you? Like, that's what you think of the people that support you. You think they're stupid and they're just going to give you money anyway, and they're going to do your dirty work, and it doesn't matter if you lie to them or not, because they're still going to believe you. And it's like, I want people to see what he says about them. I want them to see it, because I can say it till the cows come home. Most of you know I've been trying to warn people for a long time about him, and it's only been within the last 6 months people have actually started to listen. And not everyone. A lot of you have been here a long time, have known. But the masses of people who are following him. It's only in the last 6 months that these people are actually opening their eyes and being like, holy shit, she wasn't lying. She was telling the truth the whole time. No shit, Sherlock, right? But I feel like saying it and showing it are two different things, right? Like, saying it is one thing, but being able to show his own words to people and what he actually thinks about the people that got him to where he is right now are two totally different fucking things. And it's like, I want them to see exactly who he is. It shows exactly who he is. If you go through messages between me and my friends talking about people that follow me, all you're going to get is gratefulness. Just gratefulness, right? Like, just being grateful. And it's the polar opposite with him. And for me, it's like, how can someone keep operating in that manner, right? And no one realizes that they're being used, even when he's screaming and yelling and acting a fool and demanding that you give him $5 or more. His whole $5 or more. If you don't donate at least $5, he won't read your comments, guys, because like it's not worth his time if it's not $5. No worries. First day of school, it was Alicia, Eliza, Alyssa. So every day, every first day of school, you get a new teacher, obviously, and it would always be like, is there an Eliza? I'm like, where's the Z? Is there an Alicia? Is there an Alyssa? No, it's Elisa, or AKA Elise for short. That's what my dad called me. But it used to be so funny because I'd be like, nope, no Alicia here. No Alicia here. There's an Elisa. It's Lisa with an E in front of it, but there's no Eliza here. Although as a kid, I used to get really pissed. There was, you know how they used to have those little brushes or lanyards or pencils with your names on them? Yeah, mine was not on any of those. You know, it was only when my grandparents got me my LL Bean backpack that had my name on it that I got anything with my name on it. There was nothing with my name on it as a kid, because my name is obviously not a common name. So there was nothing. Couldn't find a single thing. You know, Jennifer and Ashley and Chris, you know, they all have things with their name on it. They got lanyards, they got pencil cases, they got pencils, they got brushes. And, you know, here's little old me looking in every store that we go in, looking at all the names. There's an Elizabeth, of course, but not an Elisa. So my grandparents took mercy on me at some point and got me the LL Bean backpack with my name on it. Also, probably so I wouldn't lose it, I'm guessing. Oh boy. Oh boy, there's a crash out happening. Hold the hell on. Oh boy. All right, so there is some crash out happening. Why do people do that? Like, why? I don't get it. So we have the Aiden minions over on X currently, just using the like repetitive, nonsensical repeat of his like greatest hits of this morning. And it looks like Flip's having a little bit of a crash out over there. Oh yeah, I loved that one. So last night I forgot about this, right? You guys are gonna love this one. So when Sparkly asked him, like, why did you record Karen illegally? And he kept doing this whole like, who said it was an illegal thing? Who said it was illegal? And I piped in and was like, are you fucking serious? Like, are you for real with that right now? I said, stop the gaslighting, stop the lying, Aiden. We all know you illegally recorded her. Like, first of all, her lawyers just said it in court. Like, bro, stop it. We've seen all the text messages between you and fucking everybody and their mother, bro, of you, scrambling because you lied to everyone about the fucking recording, which is what you normally do, is just lie all the time anyway with your liabilities. We all know this, right? Nonetheless, he at one point, and I kid you not, guys, I swear to God, and there are witnesses who listened to this last night. I swear to God, at one point he went, well, if it was illegal, where are the charges? What? And he wants to talk about anybody else's intelligence. This is real fucking life, dude. This is real life. He actually said it. He actually said, well, if it was illegal, where are the charges? Where are the charges? Where are the charges? I go, Aiden, are you trying to say that if you're not charged with the crime that it magically becomes legal? Because you just weren't charged with it, so now it's just magically legal? So if you don't get caught and you don't get charged with the crime, then magically it just makes it legal because you weren't charged. Fucking what? Like, that's the actual, like, mental gymnastics this dude has to do in his head. Those are the types of mental gymnastics, folks. Okay? Those. Where he actually said out loud to people that we all heard was, well, where's the charges then if it was illegal? Bro, let me put it this way. If you take drugs across state lines, you pick up drugs in Massachusetts and you bring them to Rhode Island, or you pick them up in Rhode Island and you bring them to Massachusetts, you committed a federal crime because you have crossed state lines with it, right? That's illegal, right? That's a crime. It's a felony, okay? If you don't get caught doing it, it doesn't make it any less illegal. But just so you're aware, it doesn't make it any less illegal because you were not caught and charged, sir. And we all know, at least those of us who know the legal stuff, know Massachusetts is not going to just charge him with wiretapping unless they have a complaining witness. So if Karen doesn't file it, they're not going to go ahead with it. If they don't have a cooperating complaining witness, what's the fucking point? They're just going to waste resources and time. Karen would have to press charges for them to want to charge him. That's the bottom line. Massachusetts is not going to go out of their way to waste resources if they don't have a cooperating complaining witness about the illegal recording. Okay? Right. That's a ridiculous argument. Well, it can't be illegal because I wasn't charged. I mean, that's essentially the argument. Well, where's the charges then? If it's illegal, where's the charges? I couldn't believe he actually said that. I'm like, is this real life? This is the shit people buy? Like, this is the stuff people listen to. This is the kind of logic that people latch onto and then repeat in public. I mean, I have like seventh-hand embarrassment for anybody that repeats that narrative. But that's what he does, right? Feeds them whatever narrative he wants them to repeat, and then here they are at X repeating those narratives. And it's like, do you know how fucking stupid you sound? Well, it's not illegal if I wasn't charged. Or where's the charges? How can it be illegal if I wasn't charged? There are a lot of things that are illegal that people aren't charged with, sir. It means you just didn't get caught or there's not a complaining witness. Like, what the fuck do you mean? I mean, I could not actually believe those words came out of his mouth. I like unmuted myself, and it took me like a second in that moment because I was so taken aback that he could, I mean, I know he's stupid, but like that was beyond fucking stupid. I was like, what? Like, Aiden, just because you weren't charged does not make it any less illegal, sir. You fucking buffoon. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You clown. I don't get it, you know? I don't get it. Uh-oh. Douche canoe. I love when someone says douche canoe. I've heard that one a lot recently. Douche canoe. Oh, by the way, I popped over when I first was getting ready for this. I heard the Can We Keep It Real podcast ask one of you guys how we knew that it was 45,000 reports against his YouTube channel, and it is his YouTube channel. It's not his Twitter account. It is his YouTube channel. And the exact number as of a few days ago was 45,381. And we know that because we get those numbers from the company itself, right? So that's how I verified. I said, how do you verify that? Well, I verified that with the ongoing stuff that I'm doing to try to get YouTube, aka Google and Alphabet, to take some goddamn accountability when it comes to taking down his hate channel, because that's what it is at this point, of doxing and smearing and shaming people into submission to do what he wants them to do. And so in doing all of that, we got some of this information, which includes the 45,381 reports against his YouTube account and the $5 million he's made, over $5 million he's made since 2020. He literally is like the ultimate fucking douche canoe. I mean, he is King Ratchet. He talks about Ratchet. Everyone's a Ratchet. Everyone's a Ratchet, except he is the king of ratchets. His entire personal and professional life is a disaster dumpster fire. He has ruined anything he has touched. He has burned down so many professional relationships that could have elevated him simply because he couldn't get his own way and he threw a tantrum. That's sad. That's really fucking sad. The man can't get out of his own way because if it's not his way, it's a problem. Where's that documentary? Someone asked Meredith the other day on her live stream, what about that documentary? And she said something interesting, which was that because he was paid for it, which most of the time you don't get paid for a documentary, but because he was paid for it, a lot of times the platforms don't want to buy it because obviously if you're paying someone in a documentary, it can be very biased. And also, to be fair, I bet Netflix and them are probably worried about being sued. They've been sued for a few documentaries. Now, if I'm the documentarian who has dumped all that money, Jeff has dumped a lot of money into that spiel. To be fair, I wish he hadn't. And if you can't sell it, my dude, it's because no one wants to touch Aiden with a 10-foot pole. And certainly nobody wants to make him look like he did something good or he is good because everyone on planet Earth knows he's a horrible person. So they're not going to buy a documentary that portrays him in a light that like he did something great and he's a great guy and blah, blah. No one on planet Earth is going to buy that. No. They know that that's going to come with lawsuits and liabilities that they don't want. So what Jeff needs to do, and listen, Jeff, I know like this is your thing, this is what you do, my dude, but I just don't think you were given the correct heads up on who Aiden is, right? Or, before you started this whole thing. I think you were gaslit and lied to, and I think he lied to you a lot. And I think you probably realized it at some point that it's probably unsellable in its current form. So Jeff, this is what I suggest you do, sir. I suggest you turn this documentary into exactly what it needs to be, which is a mockumentary. And show the world the real him. Take the unedited clips of him being a fucking douche canoe, his multiple different stories about the same thing, and turn it into a mockumentary about how fucking horrible he is. He got paid. That's all you needed to do. Because in its current form, of anything having to do with like he's a good guy or he did something good, like no one's gonna buy that. It should have been out according to sources that I have a long time ago. And since it hasn't, we are told it's because it's been shopped around and people don't want to, the platforms don't want to buy it. And so it's like, I wouldn't buy it either in its current form. Would you? Well, if that was the case though, like the documentary guy still has to sell it. He has to sell it to a company that's willing to play it. So, Peacock or Paramount or Netflix or Hulu, like Disney Plus, it's got to be sold to a platform or a place that will play it, right? Like that's what has to happen, So I guess we'll see. We shall see, my friends. We shall see. I don't think we're going to see it in the form that Aiden wants it in. And I would probably bet by this point that Jeff, the documentarian that has sunk so much money into this, is going to have to probably sink a little bit more into changing it. He's probably going to have to add some people to it, get some interviews about under other people about who Aiden really is, instead of pretending that he is some savior of something, Oh, that guy. Oh yeah, he is literally, and I just saw the other day, he is literally still grifting off sidebars and talking about Karen's case. Like he is still grifting off of that case and the platform and the people that it brings and the donations that it brings. That fucking guy. He is still going. Larry. He's still going. He's still talking about the case. Like, bro, I mean, really, at this point, seriously, he's still going back into like the trials. Like, bro, we've been through 2 trials, covered the entire thing from pre-trial at the first one, like way before the first trial even started, all the way to the fucking end and over. Like, it's done, bro. Like, it's done. I'm sorry. But again, I'm not a fan of Larry either. I think he's self-absorbed. I think he's loves doing the same shit that Melanie does. Lies to their audience. It's more dollars, more fucking, people. It's ridiculous. Sidebars are fine, but when you use like one sidebar per video, and you know what I'm saying? Like he's doing it to stretch out how much content he can use on that case because it's a popular case. And like, let's stretch out all the Karen Reed content. That's why Aiden has to keep saying Karen's name, you know? Oh, okay. My manager is telling me that I need to move important things over to my Amazon wish list, like my curtain rods. There's one thing that I wish that you could put on Amazon wish list. Like, I mean, I know Amazon does this like thing where you can buy like, you can buy snacks in bulk, you can buy drinks in bulk, you can buy like things that won't go bad. And in some areas, you can actually do your grocery shopping on Amazon Prime. Not in my area. There isn't, for some reason, there isn't a thing that. He has vampire hair, so beware. But I wish that what they did was like, and anybody who comes up with this, come up with a whole thing where you can check off the things that you need for a grocery list, and then have it like auto, as you said it, for like, I don't know, your like preferred brands or whatever, and like you just put what you want on the list, right? And then it just shops for it. It does the whole grocery shop based on the things you bought before, the things that you put on the list. It just lets you check them off or write the brand name, and like boom, it does your shopping for you, or your grocery for you. Like that would be amazing. Like whoever comes up with that is going to be rolling in the dough. That and like a robot that folds clothes, right? Folds clothes and does dishes. I feel like people would buy that, so they didn't have to do the dishes. They didn't have to wash, dry, and fold the clothes. Like you get a robot to do it for you. Like why don't we have one of those yet? I feel like that should have already happened, right? That and like flying cars. I mean, Marty McFly said so. Okay, like that should have already happened. I want to speak to the manager. Speak to the manager of this. God damn it. Okay. Let me see. Curtain rods, yeah. Which ones? I have some weird small windows. I have two like weird windows that are like small. And then I have like regular ones, but I have these weird windows that are like small this way, but like long, if that makes sense. At first I was like, what do I do with these? Or what do I actually do with these? Successful. Random trash bags over the door hangers, so you can hang up coat, towels, or basics. And also stuffed animal things that you put in the corner of the room, like at the like on the ceiling, and to put all the stuffed animals in it, because my kid has more stuffed animals and like I need a way to do something with them. They can't just always be on the bed or get dumped on the floor when someone goes to bed. I need one of those like stupid net things that you put out there and you put all the stuffed animals in them. I feel like that's the right way to do it. Let's see. I had. Gosh dang it. Okay, move it. Now I'm just checking real quick to see, because I'm just going to throw it out there. was this lady, what the hell was her name? Deborah, is that her name? Deborah. This lady that apologized to MLF, but then literally was like talking shit right after that and decided she was going to call her a drunk out of nowhere. Oh, here it is. I found it. She got on Facebook where she thought no one would see it. Like, oh, because she had wine one time on a YouTube, it makes her drunk now. Oh, did you hear it? Were you there? Did you get to hear it? I have not come across, I don't know. I think there was only one of you that have been here that actually heard it live. Like, oh, I mean, I was in my glory, to be fair, Shay. Like, I wish people had been there to hear it because it was fucking glorious. You know, absolutely glorious. To me, it was just, it was glorious. You were there. See, we have another witness. I mean, I made him look stupid, and he didn't want to talk to me because I made him look stupid. It was that simple. I'm not talking to you. I only talk to Sparkly and Nina. And it's like, because he thought he could bend and twist with them, and he knew he couldn't get away with it with me. Like, he just knew. Oh, yeah, you were there, Steph. You were there. I know you were there because you were in comments. I have been waiting so long because you know he will not enter a space that I'm already in. I don't think he realized it. I was only there like 2 minutes before Sparkly was like, he's asking to be let up. Should we let him up? I'm like, fuck yeah. But how did he not hear, like, maybe like, yeah, let him. Fuck it. Like, let's do this. Like, I was fully ready. I was fully ready. I was not letting him gaslight anyone else. I mean, for him to sit there and call Nina stupid, bro, you just walked into a court simply to extend an order on a woman you're not actually afraid of, just as some sort of weird gotcha, and argued completely against your entire felony cases. What the fuck? Like, that's the level of intelligence. You have no right to talk about anybody and whether they're smart or not when your dumb fucking ass is doing something so unintelligent as what you just did and put it on a court record. You're a fucking moron. Like, the fact that he had the audacity to talk about anybody else's anything is amazing to me. And then, you know, he needed to go on the blame Meredith thing that he did. But even that, like, you guys heard him, right? And he was like, where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? Like, bro, all of the evidence has been posted. The receipts have been posted 72 times. Meredith already posted the receipts 72 times, my dude. Okay? So he thinks if he just keeps saying, where's the evidence, that his minions will believe there is none, even though everyone can see it, right? It's like, Aiden, the evidence is there, sir. You sent it. You, not everyone else. So then when he wanted to, you know, accuse Meredith, of course, I'm like, well, where's the evidence, Aiden? We're going to go by your rules now, right? Like, so where's the fucking evidence? Where is it? Where's the evidence? We're going to do what you do, Aiden. Where's the evidence? Where is it? Where's the evidence she did that? There is none. It doesn't exist. Didn't happen. He did not like having his own rules thrown back at him. He did not appreciate that. Oh, Christina heard it. He did not appreciate it, guys. He was not appreciative of that at all. Not even a little. So, I mean, I wish I had more time because I was fully ready to just bring a, like, point. What do they call them in, like, earthquake form? Was like a 9 on the Richter scale. It's like a 9 I was ready to crumble that Richter scale. Pop that shit to a 10, you know? Let's go over some of this, Aiden. Let's do it. And can you be serious once ever? Well, she used Astro's name, right? And as soon as she started talking, I was like, nope, here you are to ask the same dumb question about why we think Aiden should go to jail. We've answered it 72 times, Val. Nothing you have to say is fucking relevant. Go do your own space and scream pick me. No one here cares. Like, no one here cares. I have allowed her multiple times to just ask a question. It's the same question every time. And every time I answer it, and every time she pretends like I didn't answer it. Because he commits crimes. So he belongs in jail. When you hurt people and you lie to cover your own ass, and while you're doing that, you're lying about other people, you're threatening other people, you're inciting other people, you're literally making deals, right, quote, deals with people behind closed doors to attack other people, and then you won't get attacked, right? Like, that shit is called blackmail, right? You can't do that. It's illegal, okay? When you're doing stuff like that, just so that you don't have to tell the truth about your own lies like he does, Those are crimes, darling. Those are crimes against other people. You cannot do that. You cannot cyberstalk people. You can't harass them. You can't incite violence or hatred towards them. That is not something that you can fucking do. You certainly can't blackmail and threaten people, which he loves to do. Those are crimes. On top of his ones that he's already charged with, witness intimidation, picketing of witnesses. Like, what part are we not quite understanding here? He's charged with cyberstalking ×2 in New Jersey against 2 separate people. Okay? Yeah, I mean, I had no control over that because I wasn't like a co-host or anything. I was just a speaker, but I only looked at the picture too. But the second she opened her mouth, obviously I know it's not Astro. I know Astro's voice, right? And I happen to like Astro. So yeah, I absolutely 100% knew it was Valerie right away. Like, no, you have nothing relevant to say here. You came here because your leader's gone. He looked stupid. You want to cause ruckus. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Go do your own space and bitch and whine into oblivion with your, group of minions. Go do that. No one cares. Like, and that's exactly what she did. Exactly what I knew she would do. She ran over, did a little space with her minions, bitched and whined a little. Like, bye. Like, bye, Val. See you later. Nobody fucking cares. It's weird. How many fake accounts do you have now, Val? Bye, Steph. It was nice to see you. But I'm like, you can. She did not like the fact when I told her that she could never be Astro. She could never even pray to be as good as a person as Astro is. She was not happy about that, but that's the God's honest truth. Astro's a decent human being, and Val is not. And she could only pray to actually be Astro. Just like Aiden could only pray to be good as a person as some of the people he attacks. Yeah, she's not a very good troller, that's for sure. When you ask the same 3 fucking things over and over and over and over, like, you're boring, bro, at this point. Fucking boring. Nobody cares what you have to say. Nobody wants to hear it. The only people who do listen to you on your spaces. So go over there and bitch and whine to oblivion over there. I would never try to pop into a spaces if it was like all speakers of people that I didn't like or who didn't like me. I mean, what would be the point of that exactly? I mean, even Aiden doing it is fucking weird. But I don't think he realized I was there. I don't think he would have ever asked to speak there. I mean, I'm not talking to you. I'm going to leave. You guys remember the tantrum? I'm going to just leave if you don't mute her. I'm not speaking to her. I'm only speaking to Sparkly and Nina. And that's when I told him he had no control. Like, sorry, Aiden, I know narcissists don't like to hear this, but you don't have any control here, sir, and I'm not fucking going anywhere. So sad. Also, you act like anybody actually gave a fuck that you were here or not. You don't actually care. No one is stopping you from leaving, sir. Like, he wanted people to be like, no, we'll make a deal with you. We'll shut her up. Don't leave, Aiden. Like, no, sorry, bud. We don't fucking care. There's the door. Don't let the door hit you with the good Lord's foot, Jeff. Honestly, Freeze, I can tell you from people that, have done that, it's fear. It's literal fear. They've got bashed, disrespected, trashed, smeared, right? And they know that if they go back to him, then he'll just leave them alone. If they don't, he's in their target range. So to get him to stop doing it, they just defend him to no end so that he feels comfortable with them being loyal enough that he doesn't have to attack them. That's why they do it. It screams no self-respect whatsoever, of course, because make no mistake, eventually he'll burn every single one of them again and again and again. I would be shocked if we didn't find out later on that he has already blamed most of those people for something else that he needed someone to blame it on. So he's probably used those exact same people who are out here simping for him all over, Twitter and Facebook as scapegoats for something else, Oh yeah, she went off. She went off. I would have too if I was her. She's a rude, conniving, lying piece of human fucking garbage, Well, it's not just why they stay, it's why they go back, because they don't want to be attacked anymore. So they run back, right? They make a deal, what he calls a deal, or what they would even call a deal. What the deal usually is, and I've seen these with my own eyes, is you're going to not talk about me, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, and I won't attack you. I won't come for you. I won't come for your family. So essentially it's him saying, do this or else. It's not actually a quote deal of sorts. There's no deal to be made. It's you do what he wants and he won't attack you or else. That's what it is. And so they make these quote deals with him where they agree to do whatever the hell he wants. In return, he leaves them alone. The problem with that is he never follows the terms of anything, and he does it eventually anyway. If they breathe the wrong way, they comment to the wrong person, they even look like, if there's even a look or someone comes to them and have a conspiracy theory that they're working with someone else, he loses it on them with no evidence, even saying that they did, and burns them again. It's who he is. It's what he does, you know? It's what he does. It doesn't shock me. It's always been who he is. It's always what he does. It's unfortunate, really. It really is unfortunate. The fear, I feel like, paralyzes people. Yeah, she got him pretty good. Like, I mean, unfortunately, I think her microphone kept cutting out. So like she was getting some good comments in, and then the microphone was cutting out on her. And I'm like, God damn it. I wish like it had been, I know that she had said, like, I don't know if it was a computer or her phone, but I know originally she had said like she couldn't talk right at that moment where she accidentally like pressed to speak because she was either at her computer or at her phone and the mic wasn't like working or on or whatever. But then eventually she did end up on there. Well, yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it too, like you have to remember the constant gaslighting and the constant twisting, that's part of it. That's all part of it. All of it. You know, he has to brainwash these people, and how he does that is mantra, mantra, mantra. You know, uses mantras over and over and over again. That way, they'll just believe it. They've seen it so many times, other people have repeated it, so now they will believe it, you know? Well, I 100% agree with you on that. I 100% agree with you on that. A lot of it is attention. A lot of it, if you're looking at content creators, a lot of that is driving clicks and views and donations and memberships and, you know, super chats and super stickers and like all of that to their channels. And it's like, okay, I have no problem with creators making money. That's part of what we do, right? It's our job, right? But there are just underhanded ways that I don't agree with, and lying to your audience is one of those, you know? And a lot of these people will just simply lie because Aiden's audience gives, right? So if they can stay on his good side and just simp for him until the end of time, like Larry or Melanie, then he will keep letting his minions go there and give them money, which in turn helps them, right? It's unfortunate. Once again, it's completely unfortunate because where is the line, right? Where is the line drawn? Where is the integrity? Where is a little bit of self-respect? Where, okay, you might not make a ton of money, but you're happy with what you do. Like, I don't see any of those people just being happy with what they already get. It's like more, 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 more. Like, okay, it's like, where is the line? At what point, you know? Some of these people are making thousands of dollars a week. How are you not content with that? I'm not saying you shouldn't want to do better like on your channel, but if doing quote better means lying to your audience just so Aiden won't attack you, or he'll send his minions to you, then I feel like that's over the line. You know what I mean? Love you. See you later, girl. I probably won't be on for much longer. I'm hungry. I need to go eat lunch, Ski. I'm starving like a hostage. Starving like a hostage, yeah. I need to eat something, so I'm probably going to hop off in a minute. But before I go, does anybody have anything they want me to clarify? Any questions, comments, concerns? Tomorrow will be earlier than today was. I would have been 10:30 this morning, but my kiddo home, a little stomach buggy. That didn't happen, but I intend on doing my like between 10:30 and 11 like I usually do tomorrow. Jimmy from Lynn made a good comment about 6 hours ago. Okay, he says this guy makes a living lying and destroying lives and hurting people, and you people bought him a house for it. Sickening. Fucking amen, Jimmy. Amen. I 100% agree. And they did. They bought him a house for it. It's like, I can't. I literally can't. There are nuances to different relationships and the whens and the whys and the hows and all of that. But in the way that Aiden and his minions use social media and networking in general is just completely disgusting. I mean, he uses it in a way to try to shame people into shutting up. And it's not getting them to shut up because they did something wrong. It's getting them to shut up because he can't have what he has done or any accountability actually come out to the public, because that could affect his bottom line dollars and his bottom line of more and more and more for him. I mean, does it not speak volumes that the man had people give him over $300,000 for a quote defense fund, but now he's buying a house? You didn't need a defense fund if you had the money to buy a house. It's that simple. He could have paid for his own defense fund with the money that he has made and continues to make. He doesn't want to. That's the difference. Is he made that defense fund so he didn't have to spend any of his own money. He could have, okay? But he doesn't. I've also been told by a lot of his ex-girlfriends that he's like the cheapest person on planet Earth. It's just like shitty, right? Like to the point where he wasn't even paying for like the meals of his gates. That's how cheap he is. I mean, come on, man. It's like, come on. Come on. It's one thing if you guys agree to split it, but if you're inviting a woman out, if I invite a guy out, then I'm going to pay. I invited, right? Like that's the invitee is usually the one that does the paying, right? Me and my husband back in our dating days used to argue over who was going to pay, like a playful banter. And what would happen is I would want to pay for it, he would want to pay for it, or I'd want to split it and he would want to pay for it. He's very traditional. That what would happen is I started just letting him pay for it, but then I would put half the bill in his like visor in his car or in his glove compartment or under his seat. But then he started finding it and putting it back in my purse or in my pocket, or so it was like a fun little playful thing we did for a while. But I wanted it to be even, right? Like, and he wanted to just pay for it. And you know, he's very like old school traditional, where I'm more like, I want you to know that like I'll always have your back and help out when I can too. Like one picks up the other. If you're not doing great, like I try to pick you up when you're not doing great. You know, the other one, like it's got to be a give and a take. That's how a relationship works. But that's also why we're here 12 years late, right? With kids, like acting like we're still in our honeymoon phase because we're weirdos. I know he's only been on the show, I think twice, I believe, ever. But it's always a good time when the husband is here. Yeah, it is. I mean, the clashing is definitely bound to happen, but in the way that it does is like the defense fund's been going for him since 2023. So, or maybe it was beginning 2024. It was like either the end of 2023 or beginning of 2024. So it's been going for it's been well over a year, closer to 2 years than anything, if not already 2 years. So since he got arrested. And you have to remember, the defense fund isn't the only amount of funding he's brought in for the defense fund, right? He's done those fundraisers and those game nights and stuff, and he's made like 10 grand on one of them, 12 grand on another. Like, so like there's been like other fundraising efforts. At one point, he was anybody who wanted to sell anything on the Free Karen Reed Facebook page. Say they made bracelets and they sold bracelets. He was demanding a cut of that in order to allow them to sell it on the page. It was just a whole fucking shit show. He wants everything. Now, he also did a couple of events that he claimed were charity events, but in like the one he did at the Star Drive. And the problem with that is he was cut a check for $1,500 for that event. That is not charity work. That's not doing it for charity work. That's getting paid $1,500. Then he has the audacity to talk about where other people should be paid and where they shouldn't be paid. Meanwhile, he's representing to everyone that he's done this charity event And when he leaves, he's getting a $1,500 check. Make no mistake about it, he's not doing shit unless he's getting paid for it, okay? Jess wanting to sue Cisco. She missed out on networking after the Wilbur event. Well, good luck to her. That would be on her. That's nobody's problem but her own. I think that she's an actual fucking idiot. She probably needs to like educate herself instead of, making Cartman voices and selling her wardrobe. She should probably start educating herself on subjects before she speaks on them. Specifically, if you're going to cover cases, you should probably learn some law. You should probably. Just saying. Because I swear to God, some of these people, they just like to hear their own voices. Or they just like to hear their minions repeat things that they say without ever looking into it, without ever trying to make sure that they do understand the subject that they're talking about. It's frustrating. Because then you'll have however many hundreds of people that heard it repeating it as if it's true when it's not. That's how misinformation happens and then gets spread, Well, Karen did a lot of fundraising for hers. She had a defense fund, and hers was over $1 million. So, at one point he tried to claim that he needed as much as she did. That he needs as much as she did, which is just absurd on its face. Of course, he doesn't need as much as she did for a defense fund, but that is what he claimed, of course, right? That he wants people to think he really needs that kind of money, Like, come on. Oh, because of the car accident? I fucking can't. Oh, boy. Some of these people are just not smart. I feel embarrassed for them. And what they don't realize are people like Jess and Will and the Brokeback Baker and all these people. Like, it's the same thing I said about Meredith way back when. It's not about if he's going to burn you. It's when. I said it when him and Meredith first got together. It wasn't about whether he was eventually going to do to Meredith what he has done to every other woman he's ever been with. It was about when he was going to do it. Not an if, but a when. This is the same scenario. You can go back to my videos of when they first got together, of me saying that exact thing. And then throughout all of time, me saying the exact thing over and over. It's not if, it's when. Will, Jess, it's when. It's not about whether he's going to do it or not. Eventually, he will blame them for all of his misgivings, everything he gets caught doing, every bad thing that happens to him. It'll be all their fault. Somehow, some way, he'll find a way to blame someone else for his own shit, and that will include them at some point. Yeah, I'd have to say a decent amount of people these days do these defense fund things. I understand it if you're talking civil cases. Defense funds for like criminal cases, well, you're entitled to an attorney if you can't afford one. If you can afford one, then the court determines if you can afford one. And if you can, you should probably be paying for it yourself. If you can't, then the court will give you one, right? So civil cases aren't the same. They don't give you an attorney. You have to pay for all of that. So I can understand funds for civil cases you have to deal with. What I don't understand is funds for defense cases. Because if you want $1 million lawyer, you need to pay for that. All right? Otherwise, you qualify for the state to give you one. I get wanting something better than a public defender as well, and I can understand that as well. But does it rise to the level of needing to make a defense fund if it's something that you can afford on your own, like Aiden could? No. He could have paid all of that money on his own to his lawyers. He also could have stopped committing crimes, and then he wouldn't be dealing with extra cases, Well, I know we know that. The state has endless amounts of money. What I'm saying is, Aiden could have afforded to pay for his own fucking attorneys. He didn't want to. He wanted everyone else to pay for it. People like that don't deserve a fucking defense fund. It's that simple. There are people who do deserve a defense fund, who deserve something better than what a public defender can give you or will give you, right? But can't actually afford like a high paid attorney, right? So those are the people who I believe like the defense funds should be for. Shouldn't be for people like Aiden who can afford it but simply don't want to pay for it. What he wanted to do is have everyone else pay for it and save his money to do what he's doing now, which is buy a house, take a vacation, buy a car, buy a this, do a that. He spends plenty of money on himself. He's very greedy, and he calls himself frugal. He's not frugal, he's cheap. It's not just frugality, right? Anybody can be frugal. Bargain shopping, making sure you're not spending beyond your means. He's straight out cheap, you know? Straight out cheap. Well, they definitely do. Defense definitely has to beg, like if you're, getting one from the state, they definitely have to beg for certain things. We need $10,000 for a, private detective. And then you got to argue with the state, well, the judge, the court about why you need that $10,000 for a private eye. Like it's, a whole shit show. Well, her cases are different. I mean, hers are murder cases, his are not. He also caused all of his own shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? All of the things that he did. He knew what he was doing when he was doing it. It's not like he can't feign ignorance and be like, I didn't know it was illegal. Like he absolutely 100% knew everything he was doing was wrong. He did it anyway. He just wanted the fame and the fortune, and that's what rang in his head. He thought he was going to have, and there's plenty of messages going back privately on his stuff where he talks about he's going to get all these book deals and movie deals, and him and Karen are going to basically ride off into the sunset together with all these book deals and movie deals and tours around the world and cha-ching, 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 radio shows and mainstream media shows, and like that's what he thought would happen, literally. But the problem with that is Aiden is Aiden, and he burns it all down. He can't get out of his own way, because if one singular tiny thing doesn't go the way he wants, he throws a mega tantrum. Mega giant baby tantrum for a grown-ass adult. 45-year-old man throwing tantrums. Well, that's exactly why the movement became what it was, because they could see themselves as her. If it was me that grew up in the projects, nobody would have ever heard my name. It wouldn't have mattered. Poor person from the projects, the working poor. You know what I mean? Like that wouldn't have mattered at all. It was because of she was an attractive white woman with money, right? That could be anyone. That was the sort of draw into the movement. It could be anyone. Well, anyone, any case could be anyone. Been a poor person like myself, or the working poor, originally from the projects. I grew up between living with my mom, who lived in the projects, and my grandparents, who were upper middle class and owned a home. So I've lived both, right? Like, and there's stark differences in both of them. Well, they absolutely won't hold the same ideas for other cases, because some of the cases that me and you, like these ones that we mean, most people never hear of. When my friend Miguel went missing, there was little coverage of him. He was a 24-year-old Spanish male. There was little coverage of his disappearance. There's a reason why I started this channel, and he is one of those reasons. I've done his case several times, and now, thankfully, since we've done his case several times, the FBI is now, after almost 20 years, offering at least some sort of reward. I think it's $10,000 for any information leading to finding him, because after 20 years, he is still missing. And I would love for them to just bring him home. His mom has not given up that fight. Every year, she begs and pleads to get on a news station and just speak for 2 minutes about her son. If anyone has anything they remember, or someone knows something, obviously, someone knows something. Where is he? And it was only after I started my show that they finally started getting some tips and offered that reward. And so like that's what makes a difference, right? These little known cases that nobody would have known about because he's a poor Spanish kid from Hyde Park. There's stark differences in those kind of cases, and it all has to do with perception. Where you live, where you came from, whether you have money or not, and that should never happen. part of something that we need to change, but it can't change if enough people aren't willing to try to make enough noise to change it. Can't do it alone, right? Oh, of course not. His defense fund will never increase because he can't stop committing crime. So that's the thing, right? He started saying he needs more money now because the New Jersey cases. Well, the New Jersey cases is of his own doing. He wants everyone else to pay for his own cyber stalking that he did in front of everyone. You know what I mean? Of course it never ends, because as long as that thing keeps going and he keeps pushing people to put money in it, then he doesn't have to spend a penny on anything but himself. And whatever's left over, he can still spend on himself. I mean, I just don't get it. Buying a house at the same time as having a over $300,000 defense fund is just utterly disgusting in itself. And to be fair, if anyone else had done that, Aiden would be writing blogs about them and trashing them from here to Kalamazoo, calling them a scammer, calling them a grifter. He would be doing that if anyone else had a $300,000 defense fund and then they bought a home. He would do that. No, there's no limit on it. It can keep going until you shut it down, which is unfortunate, but true. You know, it's unfortunate, fucking true. It's just sad, right? The shit that he gets away with and that people allow him to get away with. But I will say that both me and YB were not letting him get away with shit last night. He did not like it. He did not want to talk to either one of us because he has no answers for us, right? He can't gaslight us. He can't do that shit. Simply cannot. It is so nice out today, Kathy. I went outside and I don't know how I did it, but I did get this bed upstairs, the 64.7 pounds that it is. I got it up 3 flights of fucking stairs by like literally pushing stair by stair. And I'm proud of myself because it was fucking heavy and it took a minute. But I am proud that I got it up here. I'll tell you that much. All the way up here. But I went outside to get it on the front porch and it was beautiful out. I was like, oh my God, it's so nice outside. I love that. I mean, who does that? Who brags about how many people sued you? Like, who does that? What he also does, he loves to act like he's never lost a case. That's what he like portrays to his audience. The problem with that is he has lost cases or had to make deals in cases, but he never mentions those cases to his audience. He always only mentions the ones that he won. So then he goes, oh, I've won all of them. No, you haven't. You realize there's court records we could read, Aiden, right? No, you haven't. But he portrays everything as a win. Everything, even if it went horrible, everything is a win to him. And that should tell you everything you need to fucking know. I mean, who brags about how many times you've been sued? That's crazy. You know? That's what it was. You had to switch to your PC. I knew you had said something like that. I was trying to figure out whether it was, like you said, the computer or TV. I like prefer to use my computer if I can, because the mic and sorry, I just got a 7th dwarf called Sneezy. Just a chewing. Listen. If it had just been me, I definitely would have given it. If I had more opportunity to have just handle him, I absolutely would have. But girl, listen, I wanted to say all of what you said and then some. I was getting to it, but I didn't have enough time to be able to do it. You know, there was too many of us. But I don't think he knew I was on, because he would have never bothered to step foot on that Spaces if he knew that I was up there as a speaker. He's never tried before, and I know that he knows that he cannot get one over while up there. There's no spinning, there's no blaming other people, because I'm going to pull the facts out. I'm going to smack him in the face with the facts. I'm not going to allow him to try to control or steer, which is why I told him at one point, like, you have no control here, sir. I'm going to leave. If you don't let me just talk, that's fine. Okay, leave. You act like anybody cares if you're here, and nobody cares if you're fucking here. Leave. Don't let the door hit you with the good Lord split you, sir. That's not a threat. We're not going to bend to your will because you're going to leave. Goodbye. See you later. What the fuck? We let you up. We let you up. We had control. You had none. Zero. And I needed him to understand that he had no control. I was going nowhere. He has no control. And he did not like that. That's exactly why he didn't want to talk to me, because he couldn't play those games with me, and he can't play those games with me. So it must have been one of his minions that only took clips because it wasn't recorded. Sparkly forgot to slide, like you have to slide a button that says record before you start the spaces, and so she hadn't. So someone else must have like screen recorded just little parts, which if you put the whole thing together, he looks like a fuck. I make him look like an idiot. But he's only taking out little pieces of like him saying something like to Nina and like only a part of that. The problem with that is he makes himself look like a moron because he's sitting there trying to like imply Nina's dumb. And it's like, bro, you just went into a fucking court once again and argued against your own argument. Whose intelligence are you talking about, sir? Just to extend an order on Kate. Like, fucking stop it. You're the stupidest person on planet Earth, and you have the right to talk about anybody else's intelligence. Get the fuck out of here with that nonsense. Stop it. Oh, I was like ready. I was like, Sparkly was like, he's trying to get in. Should we let him up? I was like, yep, let's do it. Fuck it. I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's do it. You know? And that's the thing is he literally, you could feel, even though it wasn't, you know, you can't see video on Spaces, but you could feel how uncomfortable he was. You could feel that he couldn't answer my question. So at one point he just kept saying like, I'm not talking to you. I'm only talking to Sparkly or Nina. And that's because I wasn't letting him get away with anything. I wasn't letting him spin and blame other people and play. What he likes to do is talk for you. So we'll ask some open-ended question. If you don't give him the answer, he likes to keep asking and asking and asking and asking. Then he'll spin the conversation so that when you answer it, he'll say, okay, good. Thanks for agreeing with me. He puts words in your mouth, right? So it makes it look like, well, he was right. He does that all the time, right? But when you know what he's doing and how he's trying to do it, it's easy to be like, no, bro, we're not playing that fuck game, right? When someone constantly has to spin or put words in someone's mouth or, you know, play that new narrative game where they have to spew a new narrative than what actually happened, then you should know you're being manipulated at that point, right? The people who heard it, heard it. You can hear how uncomfortable he is. He can't answer a single one of my questions. He can't. He simply can't. Aiden, you sent it to everyone. He has no answer. The only answer he had was, she sent it to me. And I said, and how did she send it to you, Aiden? Because you gave it to her. Like, what the fuck do you mean? You know? Yeah, but you haven't heard the whole thing. It can be played all over the place, but there's only he's only playing like little clips. If you hear it from the time he comes in, right? From the time he enters that space that we let him up until the time he leaves, I make him look like a buffoon. An absolute fucking buffoon. Because he can't weasel his way out of it with me, which is why at one point he's like, I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm only talking to them. I'm only talking to them. Because I make him look like a fucking idiot. He can't weasel his way out of lying when you're smacking him in the face with the truth. If he's going to use this whole, where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? When the evidence is there for all to see, then when he says something that has no evidence to it, then you throw it back at him. Well, Aiden, you can't say that because you have no evidence, right? We're going to go by your rules. Where is the evidence of that? That doesn't exist. So now you're just blaming someone because you want to blame her, right? We actually have evidence that you sent the extraction to her, right? And God knows how many other fucking people, because we all know he has a really bad habit of sending shit to multiple people all the fucking time. To brag, he's an egomaniac. That's how it works. The snow is melting like crazy, and I am so glad I can see my backyard now. Asked him why he can't see his daughter unsupervised. Told him his BA in history sucks. Told him he will be a Black man's girlfriend in prison. Yeah, he did not want to hear anything. I mean, to be fair, he's not a very intelligent guy. We're talking about the same man whose mantra in college was C's and D's get degrees. What? What now? What? I mean, I guess they do, but that's what you want on your like record? C's and D's? I mean, okey dokes then, you know? Maybe someone has it. I don't know. I would have liked to play it here, but I don't have it. And it's, Sparkly didn't record it, so I don't want clips and pieces. I want the entirety of it. I want everyone to hear all of it, not the little clips and little pieces that he likes to play. And the only thing he could say to me is, I'm not talking to you, Marlboro Red. That's the only thing he could say. Because that's supposed to hurt my feelings or something. Like, once again, joke's on you. I smoked Newports when I smoked, and I didn't even smoke until I was 21. And I quit 2 years ago. Sorry, this raspy voice that I own, it's mine. I'm proud of it. I was born with it. So if Marlboro Red is supposed to be some sort of insult, I mean, the shit he pulls out of his ass is so funny to me because that's the only thing you can come up with. It's the only thing you can come up with. I mean, look at me and look at him. Let's just throw that out there, number one. Number two, like, that's the only thing he can come up with. Like, come on, dude. That's weak and pathetic. And also, again, what do you call Will then? Will's got to be the whole Marlboro cowboy then. Just saying. Just saying. I mean, he only apparently has problems with cigarettes back when I used to smoke, which was years ago at this point. Apparently, he has a problem with that. But that just goes to show, like, he'll say anything to try to insult someone, even if his best friend smokes, right? Like, that's his go-to. Like, bro, you calling someone a cigarette doesn't insult me. I don't smoke, nor have I in 2 years. Sorry, not sorry. And even if I still smoked, it wouldn't insult me. Plenty of people smoke. Half of his audience probably smokes. I mean, half of his audience is outside smoking in front of his hearings. So what does that say about him? You know what I mean? It's amazing to me that people take the one little thing that he says and what was the one thing that both Flip and Val and the rest of his idiot minions repeated from that space was the Marlboro thing. Like, that's supposed to be the funniest thing on planet Earth. It's not funny. It means nothing. There's no rhyme or reason to it. He just pulled it out of his ass because he couldn't actually answer any questions. He was becoming flustered and he couldn't take responsibility because he can't ever take responsibility. So the only thing he could do at that point is try to throw out some weird insult or try to somehow, some way make fun of someone. It's like, bro, have you seen yourself? I mean, to be fair, all right, his nicknames are Dick Nose, Sewer Turtle, like, and Adderall AIDS. I'll take Marlboro any day over those, my dude. Sorry. You look like a gremlin, okay? You look like a little angry troll. You throw temper tantrums on the ground as a 45-year-old grown-ass man. Sir, you have no room to be saying a damn single thing about anyone else on planet Earth. Like, stop it. He had nothing. He had literally nothing. Literally nothing. That's where that came from? Disgusting. Disgusting. Yeah, of course he did, because he knew it would probably rile you up, you know? Like, that's just what he does. And that's the way that he then later on, he'll rile someone up and then later on be like, they're so crazy, they're so insane, look at the way they reacted, they can't be calm. That's gaslighting. That's DARPA. That's manipulation. It's manipulating someone into pressing their buttons until they react. And then when they do react, saying, look how crazy they are. They reacted. It's baiting someone to react so then you can use that later on. It's what he does. It's what he does. Also, I don't know who the fuck Jess is to talk about anybody. Has she seen herself? I mean, stop it. Jess, for the love of God, please. You should probably stick to, like, you know, talking about just basic subjects and not trying to talk about what people look like because, I mean, honey, do you own mirrors? Like, please. For the love of God. Yeah, if someone does have it. I didn't even hear the first hour of it. I wanted to go back and listen to the first hour that I had missed before I popped in, but I didn't get to because I didn't have it. But if anybody does have it, you can happily send it to my email. I'll put it in the chat. Why is it all in capitals? Whatever. I forgot to shut caps lock off. My bad. You know? True story. I thought he called himself Turtle Boy because of the shape of his nose. That's fucking hilarious, Sassy. No, his nickname long before I came along was Dick Nose. I'm dead serious. It's like, bro, you should probably work on that first. Like, get yourself a rhinoplasty. He had nothing else to say. He can't answer any serious questions, and he can't be serious. That's why I said, could you be serious for one fucking second in your entire life? And he's like, I'll try. I'll try. He can't. All he can do is try to insult, try to incite, try to poke until you react and be like, whoa, 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 you're acting kind of crazy here, don't you think? Like, please, stop it. Fucking hold the madness. Take a big fat cup of shut the fuck up and a good side order of go fuck yourself. For the love of God. The fact that he actually committed perjury multiple times just makes me laugh because everyone on planet Earth knows that the man can't tell the truth. He has diabetes. It's not, there's no medication that can cure you from the kind of diabetes that he has. So, if you're going to lie about something, it's probably not smart to do it when you yourself admit to it on a live stream that multiple people have downloaded, you fucking idiot. Oh, absolutely. He gives new proof every single day. And I thank him. I tip my hat to him for that. Thank you, sir, for providing us with everything that we need going forward. He constantly shoots himself in the foot over and over. He's like worse than Cheddar Bob, dude. He's worse than Cheddar Bob. He didn't just shoot himself once, he just keeps doing it over and over and over. Like, I can't imagine somebody just shooting himself in the foot so many times over and over. And of course, most people know that's like an expression, right? Like doing something stupid over and over. When you do the same thing over and over and you expect a different result, that's the literal definition of insanity, right? That's what he does. He does the same things over and over and over and over, expecting something different is going to happen or he's not going to get caught that time. The problem is it always comes out because he cannot help himself. He cannot shut the actual fuck up and stop and think. He just reacts and screws himself every time, Oh, I mean, this is not the first time he's used racial tropes, of course. This is probably the millionth. Do you guys remember the whole thing he did on Joel surviving the survivor's mom, who was a child Holocaust survivor by Jess? That's just crazy to me. That's crazy to me. Like, what? The fact that he even went there and then tried to justify it, and then other people justified it for him. It's like, do you not understand that that's exactly what he meant. Don't let him go back later on and be like, that's not really what I meant. It's exactly what he meant. That's who he is. It's who he has always been. He's a hateful human being. He hates everybody but himself, really, but he is a very hateful person. It's unfortunate. But at what point is there a line that's drawn where people start doing their jobs to stop this? Oh, there's so many. So fucking many. I would do that quick, YBE. If you need to collect them, I would start collecting them now because I can't promise that channel's going to stay up a ton longer. So whatever you got to get, I'd get it. I know there's other people that have downloaded pretty much every goddamn episode that he has. A lot of people have a fair amount of them, if not all of them. But I'd get whatever you need to. Try to do like a transcript search if you have to get what you need, and just save it, because the walls have been closing in for some time on him, and he's like a cat trying to claw his way out of the walls that are closing in, just scratching and scratching and scratching and scratching until ultimately it crushes him. And his freakouts become more and more often, over and over and over. I would make no mistake that you can probably bet after about 4:30 p.m. you'll probably see a slew of tweets from him, because he's predictable, very fucking predictable. you know? Yeah, you got to get them all, you know? You got to. It's crazy. It's just crazy to me. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I love your stinking faces. Got some stuff I got to do, and I need to go eat something. Stop it. Thank you, Amy, for becoming a member. Thank you from the bed. Unbox this thing in the living room. Not in here, in the living room, so it can get bigger for the 24 or 48 hours that it needs to get bigger. But make sure you guys hit that like button on your way out. I very well appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. It's free. Being here is free. I appreciate every time you all are here. There are a billion different ways you can help support the channel. We have an Amazon wish list. Right now, a wise woman told me just put 5 things at a time on it. And when someone buys something, then you add something. So that's the most important things that you need in that moment. So that's what we've been doing with it. It is in the description of the video. I did put it in chat earlier. The other ways to support the channel are get yourself a membership. You can give memberships to other people. You can do super chats, super stickers, or you can do the most direct routes. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. We have a link. It's our Untwisted Chats, and you can click on that and use any credit or debit card. I love your stinking faces. If you do donate when I'm not live anymore, then we'll just read it tomorrow, as I always do, because I always want to make sure that I thank everyone correctly. And so if you catch me on you're watching it over again, or you're catching me on a replay and you're watching it and you're like, oh, dang, I missed it. Don't worry, because if you donate even when I'm not live anymore, I read it on the next live stream. So I love y'all, and I will see y'all later. Actually, I'll see y'all tomorrow. So find me about 10:30, 11-ish Eastern time. Until then, everybody, love your stinking faces. Bye.